And we are live. This is the Haram Life Podcast. I am your host, Free Fleet, and joining me as always is my right hand man, the legend.
Good evening, bitches.
And you know him, you love him, the producer of the year, Chato. What's up, baby?
What's good, boys?
Guys, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you so much. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to visit our sponsor, the good folks at Kratom. That's KR8OM.com. And want to thank those guys for sponsoring our podcast because it's what I do right before every podcast to get me going, to make me sound so sweet and smooth. Thank you guys at Kratom. That's the number. That's KR8OM.com. Kratom. Thank you guys so much. And of course, you go visit our website, theharamlife.com. Sign up for the newsletter just in case we get canceled. We know where to contact you, motherfuckers, right? We need to know where to contact you guys because we're eventually going to get canceled. We already shadow banned, but that's theharamlife.com. You sign up. We'll stay inside the circle and we can do our meetups. We can do wherever we are. We're going to stay. We're going to build our little family just the way that is. And of course, visit us on all the socials. Share it, like it. If you're listening in the audio, show some love. Get us out of the goddamn Section 8 housing of podcasting and help us out here. Hit that like button. Gentlemen, another week. Here we are. So excited to talk to you guys. Thank you guys.
Guess what? They just
What's
broke
up?
the news that Ryan Garcia has tested positive for a PED.
No.
Bro, bullshit.
Is
Really?
this breaking,
Taken away
is
from
this
him.
breaking news?
It just broke. Literally just.
Breaking news. Ryan Garcia has just tested positive for PEDs. Alleged steroid use.
Where's Becky when we need her outside of
Yeah,
Vegas?
That's bullshit.
Becky's going to go.
I don't believe it.
Breaking news. Ryan Garcia is a fighter. He's a boxer. Back to you guys.
Could Haney get any more breaks? That fucking guy, bro.
Dude.
Honestly.
I mean, first of all,
What's
did
the
look
PED,
big.
by the way? What do you guys think it is? What's the bets? I'm going
Cocaine?
Yeah.
Oh, cocaine. 100%. There's nothing more.
Chato?
I mean, he wasn't like astronomically bigger. It has to be something like that.
Dude, he was a lot bigger, bro.
Well, cocaine's
He was
not making him bigger.
No, but it's making him more active. He's making him more reactive. Even though,
I don't know,
cocaine,
man.
you naturally do this. You start moving your
Are we
shoulders.
calling cocaine a muscle builder? Because we're really gonna get banned.
I did it for 3 years. So
Yeah, that's. I mean, he's probably on cocaine. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, but
the guy was grifting so hard, though. I mean, you think about it. He was talking about Bohemian Grove. He was like, "Hey, ChatGPT, tell me everything all the conspiracy theorists were talking about." And then literally wrote out a script to say everything and say, "No, man, I'm going to release it after my fight, after he got all that buzz for it."
Yeah, I'm thinking at this point everything that he did was absolutely fake, and
100%.
he never.
100%.
I will say, I know for a fact, even when that when the weigh-in happened and he was drinking supposedly a beer, which turned out not to be a beer, I knew he wasn't trying to make weight because of what happened with Tank. So that whole clause, I mean, kind of almost derailed his career. So, and dude is he's not fighting at this weight anymore, anyway. So
I will say though, he made a comment after the fight about grabbing beers, and everyone around him, like in it, on his team,
Bro,
gave him a look like
that guy has got a little sugar in the tank. My man's not grabbing any beers. He's grabbing cocks after the fight.
You don't hang out with Oscar De La Hoya as much
Yeah.
as he does unless you've got some sugar in the tank. And listen,
100%.
you already know we're gay friendly here at the Haram.
Yeah.
We have no problem.
We
with
love
it.
the gays.
We don't like when people don't just embrace who they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Hey,
But then
if you
but
are
then
who
again,
you are, you stand 10 toes down and be who you are. You
But
don't have
listen,
to be something else.
we got friends that have partied a lot, done coke, and all of them get gay when they do coke, and then they'll say that they're not gay.
I think I'm the only person that never got gay while doing coke. I might be the first man ever to never get.
Now that I'm thinking about it, out of all my friends that got booger sugared up, I would say that you were probably the only one I can confirm didn't do gay stuff.
Yeah, because last option I was looking for the big girls.
Well,
you know what I mean? I was like, you know what?
you can't
Fuck it.
prove a negative, right? So like, maybe you weren't witness to anything.
No. Legend was my was like my companion. He showed me, like, he knew things were getting. He pulled me right out if things were getting a little weird.
Yeah, I try to keep my friends from doing gay. Like, first off,
Yeah, he's like, hey, bro,
if you even got a hint of like,
listen, there's one
savory from himself.
I will say that there's just one drug that anytime I was anywhere near it, like those people just couldn't be trusted. It was coke, because you're like, come on, bro, like you're being like, you're acting like a different person right now. Like, it's not like, people take a pill or smoke a little weed or something. They still are kind of normal. It's like these people would do coke and they would literally turn into a raging homo.
Like, it would activate that X gene, the mutant gay gene inside of them, and all of a sudden they're like putting their arms around you at fucking DJs. It's weird.
I'm not gonna say where I worked. Some people are gonna know it right away, but there was a club that I worked at in New Jersey, and the owner was notorious. And this dude was a good looking dude, could pull any ass he wanted to. And the second that 2 a.m. would hit and the club would get ready to shut down, this dude was ripping lines behind the bar. We'd be like, we got to get out of here before it gets fucking gay. And I'm not even kidding you. By the time we had the table back on the floor, this dude was sucking a dick behind the bar. He couldn't stay away from it. We're like, all right, man, we got to get the fuck out of here. Time to head down the shore. And what's funny is there are people that are listening to this that know where I worked, know who the owner is, and they're immediately like, yeah, bro, now totally verified. As a matter of fact,
we weren't doing gay shit. We were just rolling dice.
Nah, bro, he's psychotic. I might actually get a text message from him if he listens to the show. Like, bro, why you put me on blast? I'm like, bro, no one knows it's you.
Guy's like, bro, you want to come down?
Yeah. Yeah, bro, I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is. It definitely is it's a gay drug.
Yeah, cocaine is definitely it's like I said, if there's a dormant gene of gayness, and shout out to gay people, if there's a dormant gene of gayness, cocaine just activates it, right? It just opens it up. All of a sudden you're looking at this, not me personally, but I seen it happen with my friend. They're hanging out with their friend who already thought they were gay together, and they just openly be gay together. So it's like it's a coming out drug.
They should
coming out drug.
They should definitely reclassify it, and then where they put like stimulant right after it should be like gay activator.
Yeah. Warning: will activate gay gene if you are
cocaine. I like that.
Yeah.
Cocaine.
Cocaine.
Are you on cocaine? That's good.
Well, I've had a fucking sweaty armpit around the cocaine. Cocaine sweats. When your friend is putting his arm around you on cocaine sweats, it's the worst feeling in the world, bro.
I know exactly who you're talking about, bro. We were at Karma.
One time we were at Karma down. Let me tell this story. And Legends wearing this was like fucking 10 summers ago. Legends wearing a shirt, fresh.
Whitney was listener.
Yeah, no.
Whitney was there.
Yeah, Whitney was definitely there. I know for a fact Whitney was
there. This guy was at Surf Club all day, sweating his ass off. Comes meet us at Karma and gives a hug to Legend with his sweatiness and just pit stained out and just rubs it and actually stained Legend's shirt.
Right on the top of my shoulder, bro. Just put this wet white guiche mark. And because he was wearing a tank top. And I just remember he gave me this hug. And the second I got the hug, I was like, oh, God, dude.
Bro, it left a stain.
Stain on my shirt. Crystals ripping out of his nostrils.
Oh,
yeah. You're not getting a ride home, bro.
What's worse, a cocaine stain? I mean, a sweat stain, or catching a girl you're dating with a cocaine crystal up her nostril? Hey, did you do coke tonight? No. Then why is there a crystal on your nose?
Oh man, these are stories of experience.
Yeah, well, this is all true stories, ladies and gentlemen. We're not fibbing here at all.
For me, they're on equal playing field. They're on equal playing field.
Yeah.
The ladder is one of the biggest turnoffs on maybe the planet.
Yeah, but I admired you so much, Pause, when we were younger, because you would see that and then right away end it. Like me, I'd be like, she just did a little something. She's having fun. Like, Chris would be like, yo, get rid of this bitch. I'd be like, nah.
You did coke without me?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'd be like, what do you mean? Legend would be like, I gotta get rid. He wouldn't talk to her again. I'd be like, what do you mean? She does.
Yeah, I had a zero tolerance policy.
Yeah, he had a zero. I was more like maybe 1 or 2 times policy, you know.
But
so you got really weird with me because I wouldn't take if I caught you doing something, I wouldn't take you serious. But I thought maybe we can get into some weird shit together. Maybe a friend, you know what I mean? Maybe we do something. I don't know. Maybe I tie you up. I don't know.
Not
what
marrying
happens,
that. Not marrying that chick, but
not marrying her, but having a little fun. Okay.
listen, you know how it is though. It's like when the stable is full. There's chopping blocks, and like there's just certain things where you say in your head, like, if this happens, like you don't expect it to happen. You're like, if this happens, this is a good way to clear out a stall, you know? And then all of a sudden you're just, you know, next thing you know, you're on FaceTime and you're like, is that booger sugar?
I said
Is that
something just fell out of your nose.
Yeah, is that a disco biscuit in your nostril? Yeah. Dull empty.
Ladies,
man.
guys, if you're dating a lady out there that's doing the booger sugar, gotta leave her right away because you're not the only guy she's dating. 100%. Follow our advice. You know, I got
She might not be dating other people, but she's definitely fucking them.
Oh, she's definitely
fact.
getting the old hard one.
There's no doubt about it.
I did get a DM from a listener saying they really do enjoy our relationship talks, and we have talked them off the ledge. But I'm sure we talked somebody to literally jump off the ledge too on top of that. So shout out to everybody that hits me up.
I can tell you right now, if any of our listeners were ever in a Cameron video, we just lost a listener after telling that story. Not to throw out, I love how we don't even have to throw out names, but you know exactly what you know who I'm talking about when I
and they know
Did you
too.
remember that?
Yeah, of course.
Can you tell that story? Can you tell the it's such a good story. Can you tell the story about the time what'd you call her? Mary Tyler Moore? Tell the Mary Tyler Moore story.
Which one?
How you were going to be a great wingman until the sleepover.
Oh yeah. So
no names.
North Face, we'll call her. Her name was North Face.
Yeah, like
she worked at a prominent bar in Miami, right? And we went out. She's like, I got a friend for you. And you know, the friend was a little older, owned a little company, nice little company where she did little tiki bars on a fucking yacht or something like that.
It's not getting super descriptive.
Yeah, because what's going to happen is like a right hand to the face. Anyway, she comes back. She's a little older now. Reef Lead is young, 27 years old, stud, right?
How old was I?
28.
29?
We were young.
No, 29, 28. Yeah,
29, 28. Yeah, we were young. Studs, right? This girl shows up, little facha brute, not facha, pretty face, but older, right?
No, she was good, but she was a little.
She was older, right?
She was late.
And I'm like, I'm saying to Legend, I'm like, he's looking at me. He's like, you good? I'm like, I got this, bro. Don't worry about it. Legend goes away to his little nest over there. This girl, me and her on the couch. She's like, I'm just gonna get changed. Now I'm thinking this girl's gonna come back. Fucking Victoria's Secret. How you doing? Robe, looking underneath something, stockings. Bro, this bitch shows up in a Mary Tyler Moore pajama fucking set, like from the 1940s with a button-up fucking plaid thing and everything.
It was like blue. It was like
blue. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, it's like my aunt here. What's going on? I was like, I couldn't even do it. I text Chris. I'm like, this bitch came out. And Mary Tyler Moore fucking
he left me there. Bro. He left me.
I left. I took the fucking. I went back to the Gansevoort and got drunk at the bar.
And there I was, all alone in Brickell in a skyscraper condominium. This kid fucking. I could have died.
Mike, she did have fuzzy slippers too. On top of that.
She 100%.
So funny you said that. That's so funny you said that. She had fuzzy slippers on.
They look like the hospital slippers. You know, like the little slippers they give away at the hospital, but they're fuzzy.
The no slippies.
The grips.
My aunt Giovanna had them. Like, I'm not even kidding you. They were probably bought in Italy in like 1967. Like, these things were passed down. Here's the best part. I get that text message, and I'm thinking Reef is totally just being him. I'm thinking he's like, and normally he's a good wingman, right? But I'm thinking like he just west out on me, right? Where he just like totally blew it up. He was like, fuck Legend, I'm out of here. I'm not helping out tonight. Nothing. It was about an hour later. I went to get a glass of water, and I hear this laugh, bro. Just like it actually sounded like an old person laughing, like as if someone came in. And I look over and I see her watching like reruns of Seinfeld, and I just look, and she just Dude, she literally went from like being 38, 39 years old to like a 70-year-old. And I immediately texted him back because I honestly was about to like hate text him when I walked out and be like, yo, you really like this is ridiculous. Like you could have done this for me. And I walked out and I immediately texted him. I'm like, no, bro, you're good. It was like an off the hook. And then I was like, and come get me in an hour.
The next day, he was like, bro, I totally get it, bro. I saw that outfit. I'm like, bro, this because my exact words, she's dressed like fucking Mary Tyler Moore.
I didn't even know who that was. I had to Google it. And
it was Van Dyke show.
Spot, bro. It was spot on. Like it looked like you ever seen like what's that? Like the black and white shows on like Nick at Night.
Yeah, where people sleep in separate beds.
Yeah, it's literally what it looked like. I Dream of Jeannie or something like that. Yeah. That's what it looked like. I was like, I get it.
We had a great night too. We went down to that Latin club, remember? We went to that Spanish club down in Brickell. Remember that night? We had a great time that night too.
What was the name of that? That was the one that Scott Disick owned. That was a great, bro.
Great spot.
What was it? 13? Was it 13?
You want to talk about the Legend boys, the Haram boys? They were looking and they were alike in that night when we were there. We were very popular that night.
We did some damage in Brickell.
Yeah,
some damage in
Brickell was definitely a spot.
Brickell's not as gay as people say it is.
But listen, I try to go, and you know, me and Mike talked last night on his podcast of being wingman and going hogging. And there's only really like one time I went hogging, and then that ended up really bad too. Remember, I grabbed the girl and I was like, "Oh, you're so fat."
Wait, no, there's a couple of those. You got Crystal, which you actually
called her fat, disgusting.
No, I know exactly what you called her. I'll never forget it. We were at. I'm going to drop a quick story for those of you that
was it the Hershey?
That don't know. No,
Aztec.
It was Aztec.
Yes, it was Aztec Hotel.
There's
Aztec Hotel, Seaside Heights. Just for a little background, gentlemen.
Aztec in Seaside Heights is still to this day one of the greatest places on earth. It was a hotel that had an unbelievable bar and then also had a pool that was like sunken in the floor of all where the hotel rooms were. So you can look out of the hotel and see down into the pool. And one night we were there, you know, a couple of friends. And the worst part is like you guys were actually friends. And like you guys had never hooked up before. But you know, her friend was my friend, and you know, we were being friends.
Yeah.
And
no diddy.
Yeah, we're in the room, and I'm about to, you know, work my thing, and all of a sudden, he's about to get it with this girl, and he hadn't gotten it before. And by the way, this girl in her prime looked really good. This is like maybe like a year or two after knowing her, and I don't know if she went on like some BC or something. She put on like 40 pounds for some reason. It was the first time we had seen her that summer. So somewhere from last summer, Labor Day to Memorial Day of the new year. This is gonna probably go back to 2007, 2008.
She looks like me with a wig.
It was Vanessa, right?
Yeah.
It was going good, and even he said he's like, I remember him dropping a couple of hints throughout the night. He's like, well, her face is still pretty, like, you know.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah,
I was trying to talk himself up.
And I
got the room. I knew we were there for the long run.
Yeah, and I was with him too, and I'm like, yeah, you know what, bro? Maybe she just, sometimes people don't get into their peak condition until 4th of July, and this was a situation that she had just let slip.
Yeah.
So like it was a forgiving moment. Yeah. It was good.
She hasn't.
And then I don't know what happened, but she was acting. She was acting kind of like the girl that had put on some weight. Like she was kind of being.
She was acting like she lost the weight instead of putting on the weight. Like she was acting like a girl that came out like, oh, look at me, I'm fucking.
I think she was actually
knees over here.
I got to be honest. I think she was actually a little bit insecure and bitter, and instead of her being nice about the situation she was in, she was being a bitch, and all of a sudden, I just hear, we're close, like it's about to be a night, night's gonna be over. All of a sudden, I hear him say, "Because I can't, because you're a fucking pig."
Jesus Christ,
bro! I've never heard a wailing like that before. Like literally immediate tears, immediate crying, and he walked right by me. He didn't even say anything to me. That's how I knew he was mad and disgusted. It wasn't like I'm going here. Now, by the way, this is like 2006. Cell phones aren't exactly the greatest ways.
Yeah,
to
we're still
communicate.
flipping our phone to open
Yeah.
it up to text.
You don't just leave and not say, "Hey, bro, I'm going to go here, here, here," because there's a good chance I might not even be able to get through a text message with him down. We're in Seaside, and when he walked out, I looked at the girl I was with. I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here because I'll lose him tonight, and that's it. And I literally ran out. I wound up catching him halfway down the boardwalk. He was he looked like one of the moms at the mall doing a power walk. He was so mad.
Fucking.
And I asked him,
fucking son of a bitch.
I just asked him. I was like, "Bro, what happened?" He's like, "That girl should be fucking begging me to give it to her, and she had this cunt at." Like he was more hurt, I think, that she was acting a certain way. But mind you, she was definitely going to give it up, but for some reason, she was making him work for it, and he was not having it.
No,
he felt
what
like,
are we doing here?
You're not in that stage right now.
I'm giving you
last summer. Yeah,
right.
Last summer you could have done this shit.
Yeah,
this
summer, no. You got to pay me. Not only did I buy you drinks all night, now you're gonna do this and make short jokes on top of it.
And by the way, I can officially say that was actually the end of our friendship, pretty much all the way around. Like it was never cool between me and her anymore, and it was never cool between me and
that's
Vanessa.
okay.
She unfriended me on Facebook because of a reef.
It's all right.
Like, it was
fuck her.
It was nuts. I mean, bro, I don't give a fuck.
Run a 5K, you fat slob. How about that? I had enough of you. I don't care. How about now? Go get some Ozempic. See you later, bitch.
You don't. She pops up a couple times in my.
How's she looking right now?
Mutual friends. She's about 80 over where she was that summer. So,
wow.
Yeah, dude. No coming back from that.
And she, like good year.
She even cut her hair short, which is like the worst thing you can do.
Wow. Why would you
put on that kind of weight?
Listen, if you cut your hair short, you got to be a lesbian. Shout out to Becky. Or you got to be overweight. That's it. I mean, you cut your hair short. It doesn't work any other way.
No.
Okay.
No. Or
you're not going
to. Or if you have cancer.
Yeah. Well, then.
we understand.
Yo, one of the craziest cancel lines. Legend was so fired. We're not even covering topics yet, so stay tuned, folks, because we haven't even gotten to the show yet. The show hasn't started yet. One time, I forgot what happened. Legend pissed somebody off because of cancer, and Legend just walks in the room. He's like, you know what? Fuck this motherfucker. If he needs his head shaved, I'll shave his fucking head, and that's the only thing I'll do for him. Fuck him and his cancer. And I was like, what the fuck?
Not my proudest moment. But you know what?
I think my proudest moment of you was when you were taking DNA tests to see if you were a donor, and you wiped the Q-tip down Remy's ass. Oh my!
Let me tell you something. That story to this day is very annoying, and that you're right. I did that, and the only reason why I did that was because of the way it all kind of came about. Yeah. Now, just to be a little more specific, yes, the test was to see. It was actually like bone marrow. It was bone marrow cancer the guy had.
This was a friend.
No, bro. This was
we didn't know.
This was one of my ex-girlfriend's ex-boyfriends from like 7 or 8 years before.
Yeah. And I don't even believe that because I've lied about having cancer.
How did you get to the point where you're doing a bone marrow test?
All right, bro. This is how
that's wild.
All right, I'll tell it real quick. Right. This is the type of story that will actually, I could see this being enough for her to reach out, though. 100%. So, you know what? Fuck it, right? Yeah. So I was dating this girl, and we're away for. I think we're actually in Miami, and she got some news that back home, an ex-boyfriend had developed bone marrow cancer. Now, I want everyone's opinion on this. This kid had a new girlfriend. He's got a mother, a father, family, everything,
sisters,
right?
cousins,
sisters, everything. I remember he's got a ton of friends. He's well known, right? He's well known in Boston. All of a sudden, my ex decides like she's gonna run lead on this fucking
finding cancer,
this project, finding the cure, organizing the the bone marrow drive, all this shit right then and there, right? Is that weird for everyone? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, why is she
100%,
so
bro.
connected to this fucking kid?
Yeah, like what do you
Right?
care if he dies?
Right?
Who cares?
So,
I'd be a little upset if my exes died, but I mean, I'm not going to look for a donor.
right? So, and I'm there, and like I'm around all her friends. I'm around a bunch of people from Boston. So like in my head, the only thing I had to do was I was like, you know what? I'll be a good guy, and I'm just gonna let her kind of run with this. And I was like, hey, I'm like, if you need, you know, if you need people that are possible donors, I'll spread the word too. I was like, I'll even do the test myself. You know, we'll do the test, whatever. And then for the next 2 days, it was just all I had to hear about was this fucking get Peter. And I'm like, that's Peter, by the way, in Boston, Peter. So that's all I had to hear about for the next 2 or 3 days. And then eventually it just got to the fucking point that I was getting like so annoyed. It ultimately is what led to the breakup. But at one point when I had gotten back, I literally swabbed my dog's asshole and submitted that. Because at that point, like even if I didn't want to
imagine that came back as a match.
Well, I know for a fact that if I would have, I was definitely coming back as a match because that's just my karma. I know how that would have worked. It would have been like, out of all the donors, you're the only one. Do you want to? And then I would have been like, I can't not let this fucking dude die, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's the way it's got to be, bro.
Remy wasn't a match.
Yeah, but you know what? Honestly, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
It was weird, bro.
I don't give a flying fuck what happens to your ex. You know, and then you know what the funny thing is, they throw that, what are you, insecure? That's the first thing a woman says to you is, are you insecure? Do you care that my ex, we're not even together anymore? We're just friends. Listen, hey, Mike, you just swap it. It's a little, you know?
Nah, it was the fringe. I did the fringe. I didn't like do it
the outside.
Oh, we're gonna get PETA on us. Fuck.
Yeah, look at these
oh,
guys.
No, she said I'm calling PETA. Good luck. He's not gonna pick up.
He's not gonna,
he ain't picking up, guys.
That match he was looking for, no tiene.
Yeah. Those tests came back negative.
Well, I'm glad we're 30 minutes in and we have covered up.
Am I right though? Like, and Reef will tell you, because I remember we were driving home. We were driving home from I think it was AC, and Johnny Cupcakes was with us. And I remember at that point, I had it in my head. And then we went, it was like right before New Year's. And then on New Year's night, I was out with Reef, and he was sick as a dog, but he still came out with me, Roll Dog. And we actually went out with different friends, like Tiffany Chantel. We were out with Tiffany Chantel. We were out with her ex.
Shout out to Tiffany, friend of the podcast.
Yeah. Alex, we were out with Alex Fernandez.
Alex,
he was dating someone totally different. And we went out, and I just remember that night, it was like festering. And Reef sick as a dog. He's like, bro, what time you want to get out of here? Because like we were just there with friends. Like we didn't have dates or anything. Plus my ex was back in a different state. And then we left that night, and I just ran like out of nowhere. This was someone I knew her like 6 or 7 years. She was a good friend before we dated. And I just told Reef that night, I go, bro, I'm ending this tomorrow.
I'm done.
I said, and I'm done, and it's over. And he looked at me, and because he was, he knew the relationship, and he was just like, yeah, right, bro. No fucking way. And that was it. Next day, literally got home. She had a couple things at my shore house, like probably like 3 boxes worth. I packed up, bro. This is probably one of the most gangster things I ever done. I packed up everything. I taped it up. I packed it perfectly, like as if I was doing it for my mother. The most beautiful, folded. I literally put dryer sheets in there, made it real nice. And then I just shot her a text message. I said, hey, all your shit's on the front porch. I'm heading out of town to Miami. Make sure you get your stuff. She had to drive 6 hours because I left all her shit on the front porch. And then I went down to Miami. Yeah, and that was it. I went down to Miami, and we became Miami boys for like the next 2 years. And then obviously it turned out to be the greatest development of my life, because I wound up meeting Whitney on my 30th birthday. Yes, and the rest is history.
Well, imagine you didn't break up with her. This dude dies. Now you got to deal with that shit.
Yeah, I would have been a fucking pallbearer.
Yeah.
I would have been a PETA bearer.
You can't break up with her after the fact.
Oh, that's hysterical. Oh man.
You know,
I mimicked your move later on when I got divorced. I packed up the shit just like Legend did. and I just left it all there perfectly. Everything was packed up. I was like, fuck. I remembered that day, and I was like, you know what? This is my inspiration. And I did the same exact thing, and did same, no calling, no nothing, packed up shit. I don't want to hear from you, and that's it.
Done. See you later.
Done.
I will say
the way
one
it is.
thing: if you're in a breakup and you get your shit's thrown all over the lawn or thrown out of the house, all fucked up, you guys are probably getting back together. That's just an emotional way. If you pick your shit up and it's stacked,
it's
and
in
you
a
see
perfect
dryer sheets and you see a perfect fold, that relationship is done.
That shows
It's
there
over.
was it wasn't an impulse.
Yeah, if there's properly folded T-shirts, you're like, wow, this guy really was so happy to get rid of you. He's like,
he fully thought about this and knew what he was doing.
I need to fit 5 of these motherfuckers in this thing, so I'm folding everything nicely, just neat, you know.
I'll never forget too the text that I got. It was like, where are all the cards you got me? You know, like cards that I had written. And I just wrote back, took a little picture because I had all the stuff, and there was a just like pretty much like four big things of like garbage, like shit that I thrown out. And I was like, it's in the trash if you want it. Like, you don't get memories. Get the fuck out of here.
Love holding on to memories. My friend now is going through a breakup, and he's having such a rough time at 40. Ladies and gentlemen, at 40 years old, you should not have a hard time with a breakup. I mean, you've been through it a couple times already to know how it works, right? I know one of my friends now is going through it, and when I hear him talk, I'm like, dude, I get it. You're upset, but who really cares at the end of the day? It's just like any other thing you had.
Right. Oh, so I don't know if you can pull that up. What Becky said, the last text. Can you pull that up? Or are you not? We're not.
Oh yeah, right here.
Highlighting stuff. This is a really, really. If you do that whole breakup, sex, people talk about it all the time. That's a really good way to get jammed up, because if your girl's trying to stay with you, that's where she's going to get you on that last one. Even if she doesn't wind up getting knocked up, she's going to. You're going to have to at least hang out with her till you can confirm the next period, and that's a 4 to 6 week process. Yep. Miserable, bro.
So here's my plan. Usually, I go to Six Flags right after that.
Six Flags is a good breakup date.
Yeah, right after the sex you weren't supposed to have, you go to Six Flags the next morning. Be like, oh, I want to try King of the Cod like 6 times. You're like, why do you want to go on the same roller coaster? I hear it's the fastest one. You know, maybe you play around, do a fake like Stone Cold kick to the stomach, and do we're doing, you know, you try to really hammer into that midsection. You know,
little one-on-one, little basketball.
Yeah, little basketball one-on-one. You give a forearm to the stomach. You know what I mean? What you're really looking for is the seat to fall out. But
skateboard and stairs. Awesome. Awesome. I like that.
Yeah, but let's see, what do we got here, guys? Let's get to the show.
That was so off the rails.
Yeah, let's get to the show. 33 minutes in, and let's get to the show.
I apologize, guys.
That's Ryan Garcia.
I'm sorry. I was having too much fun. I was partying. All right. What I want to know, see, a lot of the biggest story right now, obviously in the news, is the protest that's going on. I know, Legend, I know a little bit where you come from. Chad, I want to hear your opinion. What is going on with these Palestinian protesters and these, as you see now, the story isn't even about genocide anymore. It's about protesters. Nobody even knows about what's going on anymore in Israel. It's all protesters organized in every college campus, almost every big college campus from the East Coast to the West Coast. I want to know what you guys' takes on it, because it is taking over the whole news cycle. So I want to know what you guys think about it.
I don't understand how these colleges haven't like completely nipped it in the bud right away. How did they just like they're calling for the genocide of actually call for the genocide of a race of people, right? That you can't say like, oh, kill the Jews and death to America is it's just a euphemism for the support for Palestine. Like that isn't enough to get people calling the cops. Get rid of them. We have a generation though of people in this country that are actual like lazy fucks that have no jobs and all they do is serial protests. These are the same people that were protesting in 2020. Same people. I don't think there's probably any Palestinians, maybe 5%, if that,
yeah,
that are in these protests. There's no way.
Yeah, it's definitely not. I mean, to your point, there is a grassroots effort of people that do care, because I know people that had some of these big protests. I know some people that are part of NRA and a lot of these Middle Eastern companies that try to help, NGOs that try to help people from Palestine, and it's been totally overtaken. I mean, totally.
Yeah,
I mean, you look at these tents. Like Legend pointed out last night about they have these tents. I mean, you need money to have those motherfucking tents. You can't just show up with them.
They're taking away from an actual, like, Israel was doing some things the past couple months that looked pretty bad. Like, they were making themselves look bad.
Yeah, I mean,
so
killing about 20,000 kids is not a great look.
So, now you got it. The pendulum swinging the other way again, where, like, the people who are actually from that area and have that, heritage, their voices are being, like, completely overtaken by these lunatics. They're fucking crazy, bro. Like, absolutely crazy.
No, just to touch on the whole, obviously you guys know what I said. I said it even a week ago that it's too organized. What's going on right now in UNC Chapel Hill, which is in like my backyard. I don't know if you guys saw, but they're literally handing out handbooks on how to protest. They're like Antifa how-to handbooks. I'll send it real quick to the chat if you want to pull it up, Reef. But here's my issue. You've got a bunch of college kids, right? But let's be honest. College kids will do whatever the fuck. I mean, for them, it's like a party, right? It's a big party. They're, one people on one side, one people on the other. But the thing is, it's super dangerous because there's actual adults there that do this, actual real life agitators that are putting these kids in real danger. Like if you live on campus right now, I don't care what side you're on. Don't get caught up in this shit. Take a lesson out of the J6ers book. If you're on the wrong side, right? And listen, right now, conservatives might be the wrong side, right? The Jewish side might be wrong. But you don't know what's going to happen in 2025 and who's going to be in the House. And you saw what's happened where they've gone back a year, 2 years later, and they've hit these people up. Let the professional protesters do their protesting and go home or stay in your dorm and don't get caught up in this bullshit, because this is 100% organized and they're trying to pull you into something that's a lot bigger than what you think it is. Shout out to Gina. She's woman of the board in the house. I love it.
I saw Columbia gave them a notice of, like, you have until, I think, a couple of days ago already to vacate the area like that where they have all those tents, or you're going to face suspension. These kids probably don't, like, a good chunk of them probably do not go to Columbia. Well,
I'm going to show you what the news they're trying to spin now, right?
To solve problems politically.
So here he goes. This is the way the media is now trying to spin all this, and it's pretty interesting to see it play out too. Legend, you called this a while ago.
Once people believe that violence is a way to solve problems politically, that's a problem that can last for generations. So we obviously have seen January 6th, where people believe that was the cause.
Yeah.
Once people believe
see
that
what they said.
It started January 6th.
Listen to her say, they forget about the whole BLM riot. It's right before January 6th. Listen to what she says, Nika Brzezinski, when she says, thank you for saying this.
Violence is a way to solve problems politically. That's a problem that can last for generations. So we obviously have seen January 6th, where people believe that was the cause.
Thank you for saying this. See, this is the way they're spinning it. That these people, Trump just incited all of them.
Reeve, can you pull up what I sent you?
I don't think a lot of these people even know.
Where'd you send it?
Go to Pod Life on Instagram, and I want you guys just to go through. Just go through the 3 pages real quick.
The fact that it's, like, there's, Jewish people in the media. There's a lot of Jewish presence in the media, right? They probably don't have any idea how to spin this, other than trying to compare it to January 6th. That's probably the only play. Say, like, if it's not as bad as insurrection, at least.
Oh, this is it right here. You send it's on a reel, right?
Yeah, it's on a reel, and you'll see a couple. But I mean, they basically tell you like what your plan is. Get together with other groups. Give yourself about 3 to 5 people. They even tell them how to use a T-shirt to tie a face mask so that people can't recognize who you are.
I got it. Put it up. We'll see this right now. And bang, look at this, huh? So some final thoughts, and you see it.
And I don't know if you can blow it up, or maybe just read what it says.
I really can't read it, make it out, but
There you go.
all right, let's pause that and let's see.
I can read it.
Oh, here it is. Here, we'll just run through it, so you'll see
Yeah.
the basics of it. It's giving you a handbook on how to protest. All right, and that's it.
Yeah, it basically tells you what you need to do, what who you need to get with, find someone that aligns with you, whether you're just there to spray paint, maybe you're there to incite violence. It tells them what to bring with them as far as if you want to bring some weapons. It says the end of flagpoles work really good as spears. Like this is an organized attempt.
Yeah,
They're trying to get someone. It's propaganda. They're giving these kids propaganda. They're giving them a how-to book. And the best part is it even has some guide numbers, which I would love to get the actual phone numbers and find out whose handle. It says if you get arrested, we need to get you back on the streets. Possible. Call this.
I saw one protest where you had people like literally writing down on notebooks and everything. They were like lawyers and whatnot for these protests. Like they came really organized this time. They learned from their BLM riots, and now they like put everything they learned into this riot that's going on. But
has Trump really even said anything?
Game? Yeah, he said stop the rioting is the only thing he said. Stop the protest. But the problem is this for me. Like one side of me is like, why did they let the BLM people burn down whole cities, but they're beating up college kids that are paying to be there? You know what I mean? Like what happened here all of a sudden? There's such a disconnect from when BLM was happening. We didn't crank down. Now all of a sudden we're attacking the tiny hat people, and all of a sudden now this is a bigger issue than it ever would be.
You know what? Right? You know what's bothering me?
I think you know the answer.
No, yeah, the tiny hats got it, bro.
Here's what's bothering me about this. The fact that we talked about this almost 10 days ago. Why is mainstream media talking about it being organized and who's behind it? They have never said that part out loud on anything.
Well, I think
so where are they going with this? I heard it today.
My theory, yeah, I've heard it too. My theory behind it is that I think they're trying to implode their own base. They kind of given up this election cycle, and they're saying, you know what, we're just going to attack our own base right now because we need to control our base because we're getting defected.
All right, let me ask you something.
This is how you lose the Jewish vote.
Yeah.
Let me ask you 100%. That. With that thought.
Shout out to the Jews.
You think they're going to reveal the man behind the curtain, or are we just going to have a fall guy who's setting up these, or do you think it just goes away?
I think
with them talking about it.
Well,
I think talking about someone being behind this.
I think you can check right now. Open Society is behind most of the funding right now, which is George Soros and his son. It's open right now. It's pretty clear.
Even going back to the BLM riots, it was already
Open Society is funding 90% of these things right now. So, which is weird because that's a liberal, and he's obviously tiny hat too as well. So that's what the confusing thing is. What is it? Are they trying to shake up their base? And
that's what I'm saying. Because doesn't that crush their what they've been doing all along? Because now it's like people are going to stop and say, "Oh shit, I'm just a pawn in this. I'm just a small piece of this chessboard." And does that get people now? Is this going to be the end of real protesting and rioting? Because then people realize, you know what, we need to just start talking and have an open communication. I don't know if you can come back
that way. That's a really good point. I didn't even see it that way. Where you think about it that way, where you're like, "Oh shit, I'm out here," and then say to yourself, "I'm pretty useless." Like,
right.
I'm here right now.
That's what I'm wondering. Are these people so far gone that they don't see that, or do they finally have their aha moment? And if they have their aha moment, what is the real play now? Because if anyone's having the aha moment, we know that that's already planned, right?
Yep, correct. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see.
Crazy to see. Like for me, it's crazy to see New York City, who I worked for the last 20 years. For those guys listening, I've worked for the last 20 years in New York City in construction and commercial real estate, and for the first time ever, I'm seeing police being dedicated to stop protesters from a bunch of teenagers when the city is literally running rampant with crime. It's so crazy to understand that they got SWAT teams and everything else in Columbia University when you got people getting kicked into the tracks almost 3 times a week. It's insane. It's really
Total-
is insane.
Total side note: did you see the FBI report that said that crime is down 2% under Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Did you
It's
see the headline?
hysterical. Yeah,
The
it's
best
hysterical.
part is they didn't get reporting from New York City, Chicago,
Of
Los
course not.
Angeles,
Why would
and
you?
there's like seven. There's like
It's
seven.
like my
there's
girl
seven
asking
reporters that left out.
all my ex-girlfriends, he's a great guy, and missing out the people that had shitty relationships with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, Reef's a great guy. He just didn't ask his ex-wife, his ex-girlfriend of 7 years, and everybody else. But everybody else, yeah, he loves him, you know?
Mike said NYPD has had it enough. I bet. I will say one thing though. As much as everyone
I
loves
got a
it,
point after that. I kind of know the inside workings in NYPD. I have a friend that is a detective, and I'll tell you what he says.
my only thought, and it's probably unpopular, and it'll piss my cop friends off, but NYPD law and most forces, honestly, especially in the cities, the municipality cops, the big city cops, that whole area, the metro cops, after what they did during the mask mandates and lockdowns, I just can't back it anymore. I watched what they did to everyone and the way they treated people because they didn't want to get, which now turned out to be a very controversial shot due to a lot of health reasons. For that reason, to me, they follow orders, and right and wrong really doesn't matter. They get their marching orders from above. So for me, I don't care. I don't care if NYPD has had enough. They deserve every fucking bit of shit that they're sitting in.
100%. They let a ton of guys go that were on their brink of retirement because they didn't get the little Fauci ouchie. And they're being sued for it. And a lot of these guys won their suits because of this, because it was discrimination. A lot of people that filed for religious exemption in the NYPD, the NYPD turned around, the New York State turned around and told them you weren't religious enough to have an exemption. And now they're winning a lot of their cases. People don't know that the shortfall from the budget is coming from these lost cases. This is what you're seeing. You're talking about millions of dollars being lost to people that were, government officials and NYPD, FDNY. A lot of these people are winning their cases now because it was impeding on their First Amendment right. And this is what you're seeing. And a lot of people have had enough. I have a friend who's a detective, and he said, dude, we don't give a fuck anymore. Who gives a fuck? Fuck these guys. The people in charge are not even getting put through a physical test anymore. So you got these, you walk around Times Square right now, you see these fat fucks. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. You got these goddamn female cops with BBLs running around, bro. Like straight up BBLs. You got Colombian cops, black bitch cops with big asses. Like it's unreal. Fine asses too. Like, what are we hiring here? It's like a sideshow.
I mean, dude, real quick, have you seen the force right now? The khaki gang that they got out there?
Which one? Patriot Front?
In the NYPDs. It's I mean, dude, they look like straight up gang members, and they're doing the stop and frisks, and they're doing all this crazy shit, and they're doing a lot of crazy tactics. They call them like the khaki gang, the cops. Type it in, bro.
Yeah. Oh, it was like, what was that famous Atlanta group? Remember when during Big Meech, that whole like BMF clique? What was the name of that? The Road Dogs or something like that? Red Dogs or something like that?
Yeah, they're straight up gang members that have infiltrated the police department. And I don't think they've infiltrated. I think they were invited in. So you got to
that's wild.
Gang. You just got to see. I want to see if I can find a video. Khaki gang, New York police. And bro, they're fucking with people. I mean, their hashtags are gang on social media.
They're affiliated with the NYPD?
They are NYPD cops, bro.
Oh, it's only pulling up LA Sheriff's Department right now. Well, LA Sheriff's Department has gang members at the highest ranks. 2024. Okay.
I'm going to see if I can find something for you.
No big deal, guys.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, I watch them. They're walking through the street. They just don't have a cop demeanor at all. It looks like gang members with a badge.
Well, here, we'll pull up this from Rolling Stones. So we know that it's definitely happening right now. Right? Gang levels hold positions at the highest levels. The LA Sheriff's Department investigation reveals.
Oh, LAPD's been in gangs since the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, wasn't it? That was like the Training Day.
Yeah.
Plot.
At least a half dozen active gangs and cliques and names of them: the executioners, banditos, regulators, Spartan gladiators. What is this? A fucking joke? The groups pose threats to general public. Blah blah blah. Perhaps, yeah. Well, they're in there. Deeply embedded within LASD, colon and cancer, and must be excited by special things. That's pretty fucking wild. So definitely, if you're seeing this in LA, it's definitely going on. I can't just find any story based on it though in New York.
I'm gonna find it while you guys are talking.
Probably in every major city.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, why wouldn't it be? Think about it. The back in the day, the mob had guys working in there.
Yeah.
From them, they, Departed is based on a true story. Of a guy that infiltrated a guy like, what was his name? What was that guy's name? The famous that Jack Nicholson was based on Departed. He was a MK Ultra survivor as well. What's his name?
What's that fucking guy's name?
Yeah, that's a great story too.
Whitey Bulger.
Whitey Bulger, yeah. MK Ultra experiment survivor Whitey Bulger ended up becoming a mafioso kingpin, and he did the same thing. He was having his own people that he would have from groom them from little kids to go into the Boston Police Department and run it. I think he had 7 or 8 assets in there that were part of his family. Pretty wild, but definitely I don't deny that it probably happened in New York. Of course it does. Think about what's going on in New York. The New York City right now, I know I don't want to just stay on New York City and how shitty it is, but you'll go down Times Square and you'll just see 30 migrants in scooters just waiting for it to be Uber Eats or whatever it is. It's all the same looking people. You walk down another block, you see literally a family of South American people, just hundreds of people down the line, and they got their own little tent set up. They got a food cart set up, and it looks like a third world country in certain parts of it.
Yeah, that's a lot of cities right now, bro.
Yeah,
in general.
I mean, and some people are like, oh, this is cool. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but they're robbing people.
You raise a family in the city? You're crazy. You're crazy to raise a family in the city right now.
It is crazy because rent's at an all-time high. I'm in a place right now where renting a 700-foot square apartment. They just gave me my new rental agreement this last week, and it's $3,000 for a 750 square foot apartment. And I'm not even in the city. And they're like, yeah, it's a great deal. We're gonna hook you guys up $3,000 a month.
Yeah. See, yeah, but now they're gonna say, yeah, it's good that you're not in the city. You're close, but you're not actually in it. Yeah.
Oh, you can come in Jersey. Great. All right.
Reef, go to the Instagram. I sent it to you. So yeah, they're called the Khaki Boys, NYPD, and it's funny because it looks like every one of their tags got taken off of Instagram. But this is
let's share this bitch right. Yeah.
But you'll see. Just listen to it. Listen to the conversation. Listen to the talk.
All right. We're here. This right here?
Yep. Volume up on that.
We outside. We outside too. All right. So we'll see you soon.
We're on East Tremont and Crescent Avenue doing what the community wants us to do. Enforce illegal mopeds, dirt bikes, and ATVs and ghost cars. And if you look behind us here, this is our first full rack of the night. We will be out here all night. Bronx CRT is leading the charge. This isn't easy work. Look behind you. Cops are working hard. Khaki Boys are working hard.
Khaki Boys.
I mean, there you go. They have a name.
Yeah. It's so funny isn't it funny that Patriot Front has that same look too, the khaki look and everything else?
Of course, bro.
Shout out to Janet in the house. Janet, how you doing, gorgeous?
I just sent you, just pull it up, bro. I want you to see. And by the way, there's people that are on these pages that are talking about it, flat out saying, we know these guys. They're from the neighborhood. They're gang members.
Oh, more of these Khaki Boys.
Yeah, bro. This is what I'm talking about. They don't look like cops, dude. I just, I'm glad I don't live in New York.
That was like a hype
bro.
video for them.
Yeah, bro.
Khaki Boys in a building at night. Oh, what a feeling! I'm drilling your wife.
I mean, think about what they're saying, bro. That's been their catchphrase is "We outside."
This is
we outside
two
too.
guns with bullets in it. They're like, "What's up?"
Right.
Oh shit! Nice score, gentlemen. Way to go! I probably
Right.
get beat up fucking 7 guys for that.
If
The guy
anyone
that
does
got
run
arrested
in-
for those guns was probably a guy just trying to protect himself from being robbed.
100%. Listen, if anyone runs across it, because they are deleting a lot of his stuff off of Instagram.
Yeah.
If anyone finds their hype videos that are on like Twitter and stuff, send them over to the show, because next time we're on, I want to show them, because dude, they're crazy, and they're not following any protocol. They are literally walking up to people. They're stopping, and they're stopping and frisking.
Yeah.
So,
Literally training
nuts.
like
Not only that, but stop and
They're
frisk
Denzel
was
in training.
ruled
Like,
by
yeah.
the Supreme Court that it was illegal to do, and they continue to do it. That's
Right.
the crazy part about it. And look, listen, whatever you feel about it, and everybody's like, well, it stopped crime. Like, no, dude. You can't just stop and frisk people no matter what you are, because they didn't stop at just gang people or black people and everything else that everybody thought it would. They were doing it to normal people.
listen,
You know,
listen, the
there's nothing worse than
Patriot
being-
Act was just for terrorists. Okay?
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the
perfect
problem.
example. Perfect correlation.
That's a good example, actually, because the important part is when you see Dick Cheney say it, you never want to let a good what was that exact quote? You never want to get a good terrorist situation go to waste, right? What was it? A good disaster or something like that? What did he say?
Yeah, yeah.
What did he
Something
say?
along those lines, something like that. Like, you never want to let a good something go to waste. And here it is. Patriot Act was disgusting. That's why I was so angry when Trump didn't stop it the next time around.
Yeah.
And we got 2.0 coming with the TikTok ban.
Yeah, the TikTok ban is they're trying to force them to sell it too, and I don't know.
He
I think
ain't
we
selling,
covered
bro.
the TikTok ban. No, he ain't selling. Fuck
He ain't
that.
selling it.
You know
You know
what?
what?
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen right now. It's gonna get reversed in the Supreme Court because we don't have precedent for it.
Listen,
There's no precedent for it.
even if it doesn't get reversed, there's only so many people in the United States. That app is huge across the world. Okay, why would you give up that revenue? Think about that. You have one country that's trying to force. By the way, that it's not even from here, and they're trying to reach all the way across the ocean with the long dick of the law and get this guy to sell his company. Fuck you, bro.
He ain't
Dude,
selling it.
I'll get a VPN. I'll be TikToking all day. Come find me.
If
We outside too.
If Elon has
Any
any
boys in a building TikToking, my G's.
Elon has any business dealings with X, with people like Russia or any enemy of the United States at this point, they can make the argument that X should be shut down.
Exactly.
Bro, you can't even post. I can't. If I say OnlyFans in a joke tweet, I got 16 OnlyFans girls right underneath
It's wild.
that
It's
don't
actually-
even follow me. It's
don't even-
I
like-
see buttholes like as I'm posting a joke. There's buttholes on my Instagram.
What's the
on my
post?
Twitter.
What's the post?
Oh,
Bro, literally, it could be any
type in-
post.
For research purposes, what
Yeah,
post are you
type
talking
in
about?
Haram Life butthole.
Oh,
Haram
shit.
Life.
Am I purposely trying to out
Reef-
them? I don't know.
Reef
That could be.
exposed.
Yeah, Reef exposed. I'm following all of them. It's for research purposes for the podcast, honey. I know you're listening.
Yeah, it's
So
got
I mean,
news for you though, bro. It's just bad. Between like the
where does it
protests
go?
and-
Where does it go?
I don't know.
Let me ask you guys, where does this protest go? What's the ultimate goal? Is it going to go into another summer of love that we're looking at 2024 election season? It is grifting season. Let's be
Well, Meek,
honest.
you said it, and Chato said it. I was in the group chat. We didn't say it on here, but we may as well say it now. You said that eventually they're going to turn their focus to Trump.
Yep.
They're
So
going to
I was-
use this and turn the focus to Trump.
I was just going to say, I saw a bunch of, I guess, counter protests where people were trying to protect American flags on these campuses and shit. Eventually, it's going to be look like MAGA protesters, and
Correct.
It's something pops off, and it's not Palestinians versus Israelis. It's minorities in
Dude.
general versus.
And you know what?
MAGAs.
I say I'm not right or left, but right now I'm leaning Republican because I want to make money, and I know that voting Trump is going to help me make money because that's the way everybody should vote. So which way you can benefit yourself.
Yeah.
But hey, conservatives, stay the fuck out of this one, guys. All right?
That's
Just
why
let them
that's why I asked if
let
Trump
them
has
do
said anything,
whatever the fuck they want.
because
Let
they want
them do
they
it.
want a soundbite. They want a soundbite
Okay?
from Trump to say that he
Don't sit in
incited
there. You see
something.
the Dan Bonginos, the fucking
stay
Ben
out of it.
Shapiros, these red wokes out there, the people that are not really conservative, but they're really woke conservative. Hey, stay out of it. You're good already, bro. They're eating themselves.
They don't need any
Stay
toxic
out.
masculinity.
It's
right
a
now.
weird,
Yeah.
a weird dynamic, anyways. The whole war in the Middle East right now, because it's
Hey,
you know,
can I? Hey,
a lot of these
unpopular
people-
opinion.
a lot of Jewish
I don't
people
give a
probably
fuck.
were. You know, there's probably a lot of Jewish liberals that were protesting in
great.
2020
Jew-
out in the streets. Like
Palestinian.
They're
God,
confused
I
as
don't
fuck
give
right
a
now.
Fuck, bro. I don't give a fuck about anything. I want to stop paying $20 for fucking grass-fed, free ranging eggs over here.
no,
All right.
that,
I
bro.
wa-
You're
What
paying
the fuck
that
is going on here, bro?
even for the dog shit. You're paying an arm and a leg. It's crazy.
That's what I mean. It's like this is the problem. Is this is another distraction?
I call
We have all this shit going on in this country. We can't. I mean, rent's at all-time high. Eggs are milk is at all. You name the fucking thing. You can't get anything.
I
and
call
people are
legend
just
every
saying,
time I leave the grocery store. I'm so angry.
What the
I have to
fuck?
get talked off the ledge.
I don't
Listen,
give a fuck now what happens in Israel or fucking
times
Palestine.
are so bad. I just filled out an hour and 15-minute application on goodnatureprogram.com to try to get my stool selected so that I can sell them shit for for $2,000 a week.
Yeah, I'm
Bro,
gonna start
$2,000 a
selling
week,
my
they'll pay you for your
unvaccinated
shit.
sperm. I'm fucking dropping loads. You want it right here? Hit me up.
Is that why you've been eating all that yogurt?
Legendleader.com. You hit us up. Yeah, that's
Fruit,
what I'm
fruit
doing
cups,
right
bro. I'm trying to get my poopy selected.
now. No wonder he's been fucking eating this shit.
Bro, do you understand though? $2,000 a week, bro. I mean, come on, bro. Some of these people are making $10,000 a week,
Bro,
but
Yeah,
they're like athletes with like the best of the best shit. Just a nice organic diet, really, really nice. You know.
Oh, what was I saying? What did I see? Remember we talked like 3 weeks ago about some girl followed BX about how Department of Justice is funding these people that are going against the Red Pill podcast, and they're finding counter like suits to these Red Pills. Well, it showed that they spend millions of dollars to like shut down the Red Pill podcast. The U.S. government itself, Department of Justice. Think about that. That's where their focus was this whole time. Millions of dollars to go into building up a non-organic following of podcasts or YouTube or whatever it is. They're filing fake super chats. They have fake people in the chats. They're all bots to try to counter these movements.
why do we pay taxes?
We pay taxes because we're the redheaded stepchildren to the mafioso, which is the American government. That's why. And we have
Our taxes don't pay for anything in the United States. It pays for the world. That's where our taxes go. Our taxes don't go to roads and libraries and all this other shit. We're funding the rest of the world.
I don't even know if it pays for the things over. We literally just make whatever money we need.
Yeah.
Like,
and on top of that, think about this. The America, their talking point this week is like, hey, why isn't Egypt taking in these refugees? Like that's the talking point in all these big Morning Joe and all this shit. Egypt should be taking in the refugees. You're right. A country's bombing a place where people live, and other countries should just be like, yeah, we should accept them.
Sure. Let's do it.
Yeah, sure. And now you're seeing Biden going, well, we might take in some refugees now from Palestine.
Yeah, let's put it to a vote in November.
Yeah, we're gonna take Palestinian refugees in now, and it's just gotten to a point that it's just like how many did they get together and say, hey, let's have the worst ideas and we're gonna just roll this. Let's go. It's like us when we have our meetings. We're like, what can we do to make the show better?
What was the
and
point
we have the worst ideas.
What was the point of leaving Afghanistan? Like what? Like we just like we're just moving money around from one country to another. Like
the Afghanistan debacle was something because again, we stated so many times in this podcast, all of us, if you guys are listening out there, the people in class, the ruling class, is so out of touch with the normal people that they thought this was a good move. They thought leaving Afghanistan because Trump wanted to do it. This is how out of touch they are, the Biden administration too. They thought, oh, we're going to pull out and people are going to cheer us. But people aren't stupid anymore. Right. TikTok, YouTube, all these people live streaming showed you that these people aren't stupid. And they thought they could get away with it because, again, these people, even the people that you like, or even the people that other people like, Marjorie Green and Boebert and all these other people, they're all pieces of shit. They think we're stupid. That's the problem. That's exactly what is going on. And they don't realize how much we actually know. And this is why they secretly all support that TikTok ban. Because the TikTok ban is not just about TikTok. It's about everything. Okay, it doesn't stop at TikTok. It starts at VPNs. It's because VPNs are mentioned in the bill,
Bro,
right?
They could
So remember,
they
mentioned VPNs in the bill, that if you use a VPN in one of these bills that they try to draft up that was denied, that using a VPN is kind of like using cocaine. You know what I mean? It's kind of like using a fucking something you're not supposed to do.
in this bill, they at one point I don't know if it's still in there, but essentially made it so that if the U.S. government wanted to like surveil through your Ring cameras at your house, they could.
They could, yes,
100%.
If you hit the yes, I agree button,
yeah, you're using their internet essentially. It's the government's internet. They have every access to it. Like,
oh, you know that button that says, "Hey, do you want this thing to work?" Yes, that same button is saying we're going to give this to the government as well. Right. And if you said no, then it's not going to stream. So you're in a lose-lose situation.
Bro, there's so many things I wish I could say, and I just don't want to just get a knock on my door, bro.
Go ahead,
like,
let's do it.
No, I can't.
Fire it out. You don't need a job.
All three of us. Yeah. Well, I don't want to get arrested or audited.
No, it's not worth it.
Honestly. No, it's not.
It's really not worth it.
It's not.
Even like when people need to wake up, man. We got to wake up. Like, not a single person on the left or right in DC has our best interest in mind. Not a single person.
They do that. They don't work for us. Have you seen that El Salvadorian president who held his whole cabinet? Did you see that clip?
No.
Well, the El Salvadorian president that was like overwhelmingly voted in by like 70% of the population. He held his whole cabinet. He said, "I'm investigating every single one of you motherfuckers."
He cleaned up that country. It's like one of the safer countries
for fraud and everything. Yeah. That's
I'm telling you, bro. PC culture over the past I don't know how many years at this point, I think is borderline ruined the world. Like,
well, it's more than that, right? You have this Marxist communist culture who in the 70s we thought we got away with it, right? So if you don't know, Legend and Chado, I'm sure you know a little bit about this. So in the 70s when we had all these hearings to take away all these communists, right? We're like, we're going to take care of these guys. We're going to put them in jail. We're going to do anything. These guys went and hid and disappeared into the arts, right? They went into the colleges. They went into the arts. They went into the movies. They went into the newspapers and everything else. So they let us have our little Stallones and our Arnold movies and all these like Chuck Norris movies for 2 years, 3 years, right? And now you're seeing it seeping through because they played the long game. This is what these guys do. They play the 20-year game. We accepted that 5-year game and they played the long game. And now you're seeing what's happening with the feminism and the Marxism and the communism. It's coming right through. Like it's bleeding through our culture right now, right? You can't even escape
Western culture literally doesn't.
Shout out protocol in the house.
They don't recognize themselves.
Right.
Like there's
motherfucking DJ Protocol.
I don't even know like if people like in Europe or like in North America even like what would we look like in 10 years like as a society? Like
it's not gonna happen. It's gonna look like Legend. You sent me this story, which actually we should have posted that story. It went viral everywhere. We were talking about it before everybody went viral. Like you have Baton Rouge, right? You have
we talked about this actually almost 10 months ago.
Yeah.
About what's going on. Segregation, flat out.
Yeah.
But go ahead, continue. I interrupt.
Well, you having these people in Baton Rouge with the rich people, and it's not only rich people, there's black people too involved. They're trying to make it seem like the wealthy people don't want it. They're breaking away from the city of Baton Rouge and developing their own place. Because they're like, I'm fucking sick and tired of paying for the poor and for the people that don't want anything to do better with their communities. So they broken off from Baton Rouge and started their own city with their own municipalities and everything else. And they try to sell it. The news try to sell it like, oh, it's only rich white people. But that's when you look into it.
Arif just had his Joe Biden moment. He said it's not only rich people, it's also black people. That was fucked up.
Oh, way to point that out.
I know what you meant though. You meant it's not only rich white people because we got to give context because someone will pull that clip and be like, look at this motherfucker.
I don't give a fuck. Let him pull the clip.
The point is, it was specifically they were calling it only rich white people.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. And
in the article, that's all they mentioned.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're making
people are yeah, exactly.
Like a bunch of white people filled up an auditorium and said,
right.
Great idea over here.
Great idea. Fuck the blacks. Let's open up our own city. But it's not the case when a lot of the black people actually voted with them as well. because these people are sick of fucking paying for everybody else that don't give a fuck. And that's
Right,
the way
exactly.
that's probably going to see, you know, in the Hotep community, we have this vision of Hotepistan where we just grow our own place and we have our own place of everybody is part of the Hotep community. And that's what's probably going to happen, right? We're going to have our legend stand as well, you know, where we only have our people living in our own community, where we're going to put that money and put that effort through it. And that's probably the future to all of it.
Well, you know what's funny? Like, it's already going on. There's a lot of schools that are trying to segregate. I mean, I see it, to be honest with you, I see it more coming from the Black community where they're like, oh, we want everything completely separate. You remember we went through our little summer of love where they said, you know, white people had to go to the back of the bus, or they couldn't even join certain protests, right? So I think there's a lot of people out there on both sides that want it and want to see it. So,
you know, when I go on a bus, I look at a Black man, I shake his hand and go, you know what? I'm going to the back.
Bro, that literally is what in 2020, like,
hey,
white people on social media were like,
hey, Tyrone, I'm going to the back. You could
Like-
sit in the front.
and then you wash his feet like the guy from the owner from Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
It's crazy,
Just, like,
dude.
everyone lost their fucking minds, man. Like,
Can I
it's
tell you
just
one thing though? I actually would be all for segregation, but my criteria is I want to see a separation of conservatives and liberals.
Yeah.
That's all I want to see. I want to.
And you know what? When you see that separation, I bet you see more people getting together interracially than anything else. Like, when you see the separation, because like people that don't know, the Black community is more conservative. Like, I'll think of like our community, like what we are part of. They're just right up that alley. You know what I mean? They're more.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I'm used to the Albanian, you're used to the Italian, Portuguese. You know how you guys are. We're misogynistic people. We're the same. All of us are the same. Red pilled and everything else. Like, we think the same. And culture and news and everything has separated us when we all pretty much think the same. It's not that far from what we're thinking about.
I can tell you right now that conservative side is going to be a lot more united and a lot more successful. There's going to be a lot more commonality, a lot more goals, a lot more people working together. There's something about the liberal world, bro. It's like, I don't know, man. I think those people.
It's just lost. Like I know you've been in the same situation because I can't help it when I prod and poke when I'm around people that are liberal thinking. Like it's so disingenuous. Like when they talk, it's so like they're looking for like that. Oh my God, aren't you proud of me? Moment.
It's a life of gaslighting. That's all it is.
That's true.
They're condescending,
condescending,
like
and
act like they're literally like better than you, and just because they have an opinion that you could almost say like half of these opinions are like either racist or sexist in themselves.
Yeah,
they don't think minorities or women or gay people can't defend themselves or like stand up for themselves. Like it makes no sense.
Think about it, bro. They act like they're the most inclusive, but Becky's got a perfect point. Go to a Trump rally.
Yeah,
go to a Trump rally.
That's where
and look at how Black people and white people and women.
That's protocol. Protocol's in the front lines. He's out there. Protocol's doing the work in the political parties as well.
Smell my own
That's
fart,
that motherfucker, bro.
I'll be honest. Like what I see on
if it's good.
TV at these protests, like it looks so like foreign to me right now. Where like to me, I haven't seen a person that looks like that in my life. That is that crazy. Like that's how nuts these people look on TV to me.
Here's the deal: when you look at a person that's conservative, right, and they have something going on, like they're at, let's just say you went to a Trump rally, you could walk up, like conservatives genuinely want to talk to a liberal person because we just want to see is there anything there, like is there any commonality we can have, where as opposed to if you rolled up to a liberal or democratic convention or whatever the fuck it was, and you had a Trump hat on, they would immediately be yelling and spitting and like they become the most vile person.
It's the mindset though. Like you're not the conservative is not asking a liberal a question wanting to get triggered.
No,
Like,
it's true. Yeah.
Like the
conservative
liberal
side comes
is automatically
one,
triggered just by having the conversation.
Yeah.
Like
where we've been in that situation, Legend, you've been around Chado, when we talking amongst these people, like we want to actually know what you're talking about as a conservative side. You know, we want to know what you're talking about. They're liberal.
We
side,
like debate,
reaction,
bro, because we have facts
yeah.
on our side. Like we know that we can listen. There's not many times, and I'm all for it. Like if you have a point and you're gonna like hit me with a point, and I don't know, I'm not like so blowhard conservative that I'm like, oh, you know what? Like perfect example, that DA that was driving home that berated that cop.
Oh, the New York City DA.
Play that actually. Let's talk about it because I'm going to tell you about my interaction I had. Do you have that, Reef, by any chance?
I'm gonna pull it up right now.
So I'll tell you what happened. I saw this video, right, and right away I wrote underneath it without even knowing, her party. I said typical liberal, laws for the not for me. And someone immediately corrected me. They're like, hey, faggot, he's a conservative. Yeah, some fucking like someone chirped back at me. And this is what I wrote. No bullshit. I said, wow, that's actually
She
surprising.
sounded like Todd Coughlin.
Yeah. I said, wow,
that's
that's surprising. I said, but either way, she should lose her job because she's not fit to hold that office. Come to find out now, I heard this lady was actually a Democrat up until 2021 or 2020, and then she switched her party. But I think it had something. Yeah, I think it had something to do where they needed a conservative in office. So
let's play this.
My point stands.
But outside, you can't just go inside. This is a traffic stop. Here's your phone back.
I understand the law better than you.
953. Can you have a supervisor come to the scene?
No, get out of my.
I don't know why you're acting like this towards me. Can you please go to the back of the vehicle?
I'm not going to. I'm home. I was okay. 55.
I don't care if you got home. You were supposed to stop at Phillips Road when I pulled you over. When my lights were initiated.
I didn't know you were stopping me. There was lots of other people on the road.
I was right behind you.
Yeah, there were other people on the road too.
Okay,
Jesus
I was
Christ.
directly behind
I'm
you.
not dealing with
I love her.
Can you please step over here?
I'd marry her.
I'm going to.
What is the reason you're so against what I'm doing? I'm doing my job.
Oh, is this
literally
Chado? Is the cop Chado?
I am
Seriously.
DA.
Okay.
She said, do you hear what she said? She said, I'm the DA.
Yeah.
So she's a district attorney in the county. He pulled her over because she was doing 55 in a 35. It's reckless driving. Or I'm sorry, 1 mile or
Careless or whatever it is. Yeah.
But yeah, this is what. And then you saw her apology. Not even a fucking apology. This I know she's a liberal.
Yeah.
Her
100%,
apology was, I had a horrible day, and I was dealing with 3 murders, and my husband had a health scare. What the fuck? That's it, man. And then
let me interrupt the action, guys. If you're listening, I know you guys listen audio, whatever it is, hit that like button. Help us out here. See that shirt we're rocking here, Haram Life. You can get that bastard at the haramlife.com. Go in there and visit us. I had to drop a little thing. We got some people listening, so
buy a shirt. Let's go.
Buy a shirt. Help us out. I mean,
buy
the shirt is nice. Look at this shirt.
You get some free cream.
I fill it out perfect. Look at these fucking cannons over here. That's a free thing for you. Join my OnlyFans, the Haram Life OnlyFans. But whatever.
You got an OnlyFans now?
Whoa, bro! You got the Haram Life OnlyFans?
I think I'm starting it up. I have to.
How much is that bringing in?
I don't know, but I keep getting money to put my clothes back on.
So it's Haram. It's onlyfans.com /2 belly buttons.
Hashtag tummy sticks.
Yeah. 2 tummy sticks, 1 pod.
Yeah, but I mean, where do you guys see? I really want to know, where do you guys see this summer? Like, we saw the Summer of Love in 2020, right? So where do you see Chado, now that Legend just disappeared for some reason? Where do you see the Summer of Love going?
I think this is a good precursor. I think it's just eventually going to shift towards MAGA is going to be the opposing protesters out there. It's just going to turn into
I see it because
anti-American. That's what
I believe that
the Israeli anti-Israeli protests are.
Because
they're anti-American.
Like the Dan Bonginos, right? they're again. They're like, oh, these guys are Nazis. The same guys that are saying to you, like all these conservative,
Yeah, you go on
Crowders,
Fox, you go on
the big
Fox
Steven
right now.
Crowders, everybody. They're like, these guys are Nazis. The same people that complained about
Yeah,
you
no,
using
these
the
are
word
just
Nazi.
these are shitheads.
You
They're
know?
losers. That's all they are. They're losers, but they actually they create fucking havoc at this point. Like
Dude,
these
how about
protests at the very least are
the
annoying. as
craziest
fuck.
thing, Chano, is that they're sitting there going, these people are Nazis after they just spent fucking 4 years complaining about you calling somebody else a Nazi. Now they're calling these guys Nazis that are protesting against the Palestine. It's
Bro,
we've reached
everyone
a world
everyone
of fuckery right
would
now.
would enjoy their lives better if they just didn't put the news on and didn't take in any source of conservative or liberal media. None.
Oh, wait, we got breaking news. Legend is back from the portal.
It's good, bro. You had to do a stool sample?
My dogs were in a store.
No, Brittany, he
Richmond
went out
morning.
to make a stool sample, all right? Have a little respect for the goddamn guy, all right?
You guys didn't hear my dog start crying?
No, I
Seven-
didn't hear it at all,
17,
Mom.
17 years old. We're just waiting at this point. About to put her on hospice.
Oh, she's amazing, though.
She is.
She really is amazing. Did
Oh,
he wash?
bro.
Of course not. He's not washing his hands. He's smelling.
Come on,
every
bro. I didn't go to the
minute.
bathroom. I had to.
Yeah.
I had to go get my dog's water. They're
I
sitting there
I
crying.
spit.
Wow, you guys really missed me.
Yeah, he's what is he doing? Fuck Haram.
I love
Where
it.
did Legend go? Who's this
I'm
jerk
gonna-
off talking with half a hairline?
I'm gonna start carrying a cam with me so that I leave. I leave and the camera follows me. I love it. I missed you guys. But I
No,
heard what
you
you're
know what?
saying. I heard what you asked. You basically
Yeah.
were saying, where do you guys think the summer is going to go with this summer of love?
Like what it was in 2020. Let's face it. We've had the conversations when we were talking right before 2020 where we kind of knew it because we see, I know you guys, we're a bunch of guys that make a bunch of jokes here, but we are really tuned in what's going on and we are well read and well spoken about what's going on. We've seen it before. We saw it during Obama's era right before he got elected. And we saw it with Trump, the 2020, 2016, 2024. Every time election season comes about, something like this comes forward, right? So this year, 2024, is a new grift. What is it going to be? Palestinian grift? I think they're going to have to shift away from that, right? It's not working the way they thought it would because these elites don't really get that. The people are tuned in. They're kind of sick of the little hats, right? So where's that going to go? Where's it going to switch? How is it going to shift from?
It's going to go anti-American.
Is it going to be a Kent State? Is it going to be like one of those things? Like what's gonna
That
happen?
would be fucked.
know?
Was that the eye in the sky where the guy basically shot someone?
Yeah,
The
that was
sniper.
it.
Yeah,
The
dude.
sniper, the Kent State, where the
higher learning,
the military
higher learning
motherfuckers.
shit.
Yeah,
It's like think about this. You have all this illegal immigration. All it takes is one.
That's out of the news. That shit's out of the news.
All
bro.
it takes is one immigrant, quote unquote immigrant, to be killed by a MAGA bro or something like that in what looks like a a racist attack. Like it's done, bro. The whole country was gonna. That's how you unite people that are on both sides of these Israeli and Palestinian protests right now. They just go.
Well, I'll tell you right now.
Anti-American.
There's only one. So there's a couple of things, and I'll put it at like minus 180. Is we have to get a cop killing a black unarmed teen. That right now is probably
as
the
you
only
can
thing
see, they've been missing on it. They've been trying to land it, but they've
been trying to
missing on
land it. They're
Yeah,
not
they've
getting
been trying
it.
to land
They're
it.
not
Yeah, they're not
getting
getting
it.
it all.
And it's been a different take. The problem is I don't think they can find the city to make it happen. But I mean, you guys knew my stance at the beginning of the year. I know that we feel like we've been getting a bunch of crazy shit, but I feel like this has been a lull. I feel like there has not been anything impressive or really newsworthy besides what we're dealing with now. It's just not a lot. And for me, it's been status quo. And I feel like we're just being rocked to sleep at this point. And it almost feels like something has to happen.
The
but
Cobra's coming.
I did not believe this was going to be as crazy as year as everyone was predicting. And right now, I would say that we're 5 months in. I don't think this has been a crazy year whatsoever. And I don't think there's anything that has really, swayed this one way or another. I think that right now people that are going to vote for Trump are going to vote for Trump, and the people that are going to vote for Biden are going to vote for Biden.
No,
and
I think 100% you're right. I think they've already made up their minds that Trump's going to get in, and they're just trying to save the future of their party right now.
And
I think that's why you're seeing that protest, like I mentioned before. I think the protests are proof that they're just trying to reorganize their own party and see where the ranks are not. If they're not filing and rank for what they want, this is the protest that you're seeing. They're saying, "Fuck you guys. We're coming at 2028 is what we're looking at now." Because they know Trump's not winning.
I will put this on the table though, because I do believe that they have abandoned ship, for this year's election. I do think, because it's the only way they can kind of salvage laying down, I think you may see something happen to Biden where Biden steps or basically says, yeah, my health has deteriorated. I'm not going to be able to run, or if I am going to run, I'm not going to be able to be the president in 2025, and maybe I'm going to turn it over to Kamala, because I think that that's the only way to save face on how bad it is for them right now. So I'm going to throw that back on the table. I think there is a chance that you may see Biden to almost like concede.
I still think that's going to, I've been thinking that's 100% going to happen at some point. I don't think you're going to get
an introduction, though.
I think they could do it. I think they could do it the day before the election, and it would make a difference. I really do. Like, as long as they change it, you have enough time to change it on all these mail-in ballots. The name. I think they could do it literally up until the day.
See, I'm under the impression that the mail-in ballots are like the fear held over everybody's head, right? That's never going to happen again. Like, that's how I feel. I don't think mail-in ballots are ever going to happen again like they did before. Even though they're happening now in the substitute ballots, like if you're not around, you can do it. But I don't think that's going to be a mass way. I think that's just another way of a talking point for us conservatives to go, we can't say mail-in ballots anymore. Like, I don't think that's ever going to, no one's going to accept that anymore. People are showing up now to the polls.
I think there's enough eyes. There's enough eyes too now on
that's what I mean.
Checks and balances too. Like, it's people are now fully expecting to see, because I even saw during the primaries, like how many people were voting that were like multiple votes or like dead people voting, even in the Republican primaries for Haley.
Yeah,
like made no 100%. Sense.
Even I think Legend had a good point. Like early when we started doing the podcast, he's like, "Nah, bro, everybody blew their load, bro. Mail-in ballots and all this shit, it's done." And he was right from the beginning. I'm not gonna lie, I got to give him credit for when he said it. It's true, because we and you were skeptical about it. We're like, "Oh, COVID's coming back." Remember last year? We're like, "They're gonna fuck with us this whole time."
Oh, and listen, they pushed it. They definitely
they tried.
They didn't try.
I can see them doing something with the climate too, like. If weather gets too bad, you see those storms in the middle of the country.
Motherfucking Dubai. They admitted that they have their own cloud. We covered this on the podcast. They have cloud seeding programs.
I think it was Nebraska.
Motherfuckers had flooding.
Nebraska a couple days ago had like a million different super tornadoes pop up.
Nebraska, Colorado, Texas all have weather modification programs. Shout out to Chris Lear for sharing that information with me. WF News on Twitter. But if you see what he posted, Nebraska, Colorado, Oklahoma all have weather seeding programs. Oh, it's funny. These are the same fucking states that are having problems with tornadoes. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not even trying to hide it anymore, bro. They're telling you, yeah, we're fucking with the weather. Go fuck your mother. How about that?
Here's my thing. I'm really hoping for, like, let's say Trump does wind up getting in. The ones that are going to lose their mind, they're lost causes. Don't try to bring those people in. But if you are, let's just say it does go our way, right? It does go conservative. Do yourself a favor. If it happens, act like you've been here before and just try to pull in your friends that might be Democrats or liberals and try to get them center leaning and just try to bring them in. It doesn't have to be first off, you're not winning any election. It's Donald Trump if he wins, right? Just bring your friends in. Don't be exclusive. Be like, you know what? It's fucked up, but you've been here before, bro. You know what 4 years is like. We're gonna make some money. Let's all start talking again.
You know what's so funny is you're fucking right. Like, at this point how to bring in the people how to bring them in, like how to hone in on your friends that that are on the other side or whatever.
Yeah. Quote unquote. Don't bust their balls.
Don't break their balls. Bring them in.
That's on someone like Trump too, though. Like,
Yeah,
you gotta, you
100%.
have to
110%.
reach across the aisle in some way. Like,
well, here's the good thing about that, right? If he wins, you can't just soundbite him at this point. You've got to give him his airtime. He's the president.
Exactly.
You can't have CNN without having Trump talk. And there's not going to be any piecemeal shit. And that's another thing. Share everything you have. If you see a good video, don't send it through a clip.
Ship it.
Screen record it. Send it over to your friend. Be like, bro, this is what he said. What do you
Ship
think
the
about
Sturbird
this?
to Herbert. Send it. Yep.
That's it. And
You're
just
right.
start bringing people in. And I do think it'll be different this time, because I think that he's all the attacks have happened so early, all the court cases, the indictments, all the bullshit, that he may actually just be relieved when the time comes and says, you know what, let's get to work. Let's just get to work. Let's fix what we got going on right now. And that's honestly the only thing I can hope for.
yeah, we just don't need sound bites. Like, I'm going to be a dictator on day one. That's it.
Yeah, no, none of that.
We don't need that.
We don't.
I know what he means, but we don't need it.
No, you're right, Brittany. That's it. And people are coming around. But see, I'm not as bitter or as angry as people that looked at me and told me I was a fuck up or I was a jerk off. Because, a lot of people have told me that. Me and Legend have been spewing this for like 20 years to people. Like, I remember people really get angry with us talking about their liberal talking points and us just being calmly talking to them. How many times have we were in the back porch at the Shore House, people yelling at us, raising their voice about the opinions that we had? How many times?
Oh, bro, it's crazy. I trigger people naturally. So
Yeah.
I think that anytime you're having a conversation and you may, the argument's kind of going our way, you have some people that just shut down.
And
you have
we've
some
had people in the back porch with like master's degrees in certain things, but what they didn't realize that we have such a wealth of knowledge. People that don't know me, if you guys listen to me, you guys have followed the podcast, I have the autism to just read. I can read like 3 books in a week. Like, this is what I used to do. And then when people used to bring up these points to me, I'm like, well, according to the Fifth Secretary, that's not what happened.
Fucking Reef Man up there, Rain Man.
I would love to get an opposing view on the show one of these days.
We should. But nobody. That's the problem. Is nobody wants to come on because they don't have a
Trust
real,
me, dude,
authentic, grassroots opposing view. They just have what they're told, and that's the biggest problem.
But I don't want someone like, I want someone that is normal. Like, you get there are people in the middle that are
think about us here.
Leaning, you know what I mean?
We don't all even think the same, and we have opposing viewpoints for most of the time. We don't all think we have the same type of like at the end of the day, we want our family and everybody else to be better, but we don't all think the same, and we're able to talk through it ourselves. But these people don't. They can't do that. Like, if you say one thing, hey, I don't agree with that one thing, it blows up the whole conversation.
I just don't understand how it seems like a majority of the left, because the left shifted. Like, if you have a meter for it, it went way left. So what used to be left should now be closer to the middle of anything. They went left with it. They went farther left with it. They just decided they want, I guess we're caving into like this new, PC bullshit, whatever. And I guess it was exacerbated by people on the right, but I don't feel like I went far right at all, post-Trump.
Yeah, but they were able to move the needle to make you seem far right. You see what happens?
It's
so
just
like
crazy
you're here, right, the whole time, right? The needle moved over this way, so now you look closer to crazier, right? That's the way they did it, purposely by design, to make your normal conservative
and by the way,
look evil.
That's one of the oldest tricks in the book. Okay.
Right.
And I'll just give you a perfect example. And everyone uses it in every industry across the board. And for any of you that are just sitting there and kind of listening and saying, maybe that's not the case. Take pharmaceutical companies. Okay. Perfect example. Your range for high cholesterol back in the 70s is 40 points higher now.
Yeah.
So what they do is they just change the meter so then they can give you the prescription so that their drugs can wind up in your medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
It is the exact same thing they've done with politics.
Correct. Yep.
So these are actual schools of thoughts. These are things that are planned. They're prepared. They are geared for the have-nots. And I don't care how smart you think you are or how much ahead of the curve you think you are. At the end of the day, anything and everything that you know that you're thinking, they already know that you're thinking that, because they've led you never went off the beaten path. You just happen to take one of their hairier paths that they're like, we're gonna get him here.
Yep.
You know, we're all mice in a maze, and there's just different pieces of cheese. But one way or another, everything we do and say is predictive because we've been programmed.
Yeah, and Janet's got a point. They do change the number norms. I just think, like, I went for a cholesterol test, and the guy's like, "Well, your cholesterol's high. I mean, maybe we should put you on statins." I'm like, "Well, how high is it, right?" And he's like, "A couple points higher." I'm like, "Well, I need statins for that? That for a couple points? Like, what's the normal?" He's like, "Well, 140. You're at 142." I'm like, "Okay." So,
which,
like,
by the way, back in the 60s and 70s,
it was normal.
You would have been considered good cholesterol, or
correct. Yeah.
Whatever you're doing. But you got to remember, these studies that they're basing this on, typically, you know, they'll say, "Oh, due to a Harvard study, this is where you need to be." Who do you think funds that study? It's the pharmaceutical company.
You guys see that AI? I think it was Microsoft that came out with the AI program that read a bunch of like lab studies. They shut it down after like a few days because it was spewing out essentially like controversial opinions on different like drugs and shit that are out in the market. Like it's like those studies are out. Those studies are all out there. Like
the only thing about AI, when I say about, like, the only skepticism I have on AI is it only responds to the input that's put in, right? It's not really sentient at this point. It's not thinking on its own. So,
well, if it's searching Google or whatever platform it's using to you know, for its searches, like, it's probably pulling up things that have been looked away by most media, or even shut down and banned completely, you know, in a situation like that. So like, everything with vaccines, like, I'm sure that thing probably spit out things on vaccines that these, you know, people in California were not happy about.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and little side note, Janet's posting about statins ruin your liver. Hey, a little side check for you guys that I just learned from my friend who's a doctor. If you're having bowel movements, you can check yourself. If your bowel movements are floating, you have a liver problem in your bile duct. And if they're sinking, that means you're doing better. So just a little something for you guys to look at.
I love that. I love that about you.
Yeah.
This was heavy on the stool talk.
No, 100%. But you know what's funny? I don't know if you guys have noticed this yet.
Talk about schools because we're the shit.
Yeah, you're gonna. I'm already seeing it in my Instagram, which tells me that they're getting ready to release some type of catastrophic report. They keep talking about all the radiation in cell phones. I'm getting a ton on Instagram ads, you know, blockers for the radiation, so that, you know, don't leave this in your pocket, blah 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 blah. And I checked the last time I did a study on what you know, what kind of radiation was coming out of your cell phones, because now you start to see people are developing brain cancer, right? The last time I did an actual comprehensive study was like 1996, 1997. I mean, cell phones were nowhere near what they are now. But then I just started thinking, and I'm just throwing this out there, if we do happen to see this catastrophic report come out that cell phones are causing cancer, what type of spin-off do you think they're going to start making pushes for these microchips?
They'll blame it on the vaccine.
No, I'm saying that are embedded or implanted in us. That's almost why they're going to want to get us away from cell phones. The question is, what's next? What are they going to push on to us?
I think I saw years ago too that Apple, like, in their like instructions on how to use their phones, you're supposed to keep it like a few inches away from your face.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
So like, I'm right away, like, they knew that there's a chance that, you know, in the future
you guys aren't seeing the commercials. You guys aren't seeing the lawsuits.
I mean, if you guys don't know, with some of the names like Ray Kurzweil and all these guys, like, transhumanism is a big thing. This is what these guys believe in. These billionaires.
Well, I think that's the only way you're going to see a person live to be 1,000 years old. Which
and they're gonna.
The first 1,000-year-old has been born.
Yeah, well, they're gonna. how much do you live if you're living in your conscious, quote unquote? Like they're gonna say if you don't believe in God, then you believe your conscience dies when you die, right? So if you believe in God and you believe in an afterlife, then you know this is over, and then we're gonna go do what we have to do for our duty, as far as whatever we have, as far as our God plan. But a lot of people are being sold in this fact that I can live forever. So are you really being live forever, or is your thoughts and everything being put into an AI, and that guy's living, that AI program is living as you forever? You know what I mean? Because your soul's a little different than the AI, right? We respond on the way we feel, on our friends and our family. The AI is ones and zeros,
it would just be
right?
it would just be a copy.
Well, AI is ones and zeros. It's not going to really think of
Listen,
things like we think, right?
do yourself a favor. Go watch 2 documentaries from the 80s. One of them is called RoboCop. The other one is called Total Recall. I'm not kidding you.
I just
Go watch
watched
them.
Recall,
They're actually documentaries, and they tell you everything you need to know on what they have planned for us. As a matter of fact, the first actual, cyborg you're going to see, it's going to wind up being a cop. It's going to wind up being a police officer. It'll make
what's funny is as you see these like robot things and everything, they look more like CGI than anything else. I've never seen a fucking robot dog or anything else. You see these robots out doing flips and shit. Like, get the fuck out of here with your CGI.
Well, those are definitely fake. But you don't think that it's convenient that the robot dog was rolled out as a cop, as a police officer, bro? It's there already. You already had it in your head. RoboCop's one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah.
Why, out of all the things to turn the robo dog into, you make it a fucking cop?
They got robot
Think about it, bro.
cop dogs right now.
Oh yeah, bro. They're in the city.
They only chase black people.
All right.
Not the hit I thought it was gonna have.
Trying to get us canceled. No, bro. Like Seinfeld said. Right, Jerry Seinfeld said, "You're not allowed to make jokes anymore." Like that, that black joke doesn't. That point. Black joke. That there's our. I knew you.
There's
were
our paycheck.
Segue. Yeah,
that's where I was going to. Yeah.
That's where you're going with it. But that joke, as funny as I think it is, I felt uncomfortable to laugh at it.
Yeah,
because this is the society we're living in.
This is comedy. And you got Jerry Seinfeld, who was considered like kind of a lefty comic, right? Really not that edgy. Right, he was who are these people that do this? I don't get it. Right, not a real edgy guy. And when this guy who doesn't have jokes that like what we would find funny, because we find people that are more vulgarity a little funnier. When
I like dark comedy.
Yeah, dark comedy, right? So he sees it and he points it out, and then you had people just lose their fucking minds over it, right? It's like, oh, this guy, he's fucking right wing. He's that. Comedians. People that are supposed to make jokes, bro. There's no the reason why we say what we say on our show, because it's comedy. We're trying to entertain you guys, right? Comedy should have there should be no barriers to comedy. And I know what people are saying. They're like, oh, well, then you can make a joke and just say it's comedy. But you know when you listen to comedy, when it's comedy, you know when something's funny, right? We all know when something's funny, right?
Dude, I'll go a step further. If anything, we've actually seen almost like a reverse discrimination in comedy. It became more acceptable to rip on white guys, right? Or conservative white guys. That was kind of like the target. It got so corny that it was like, oh, this is the only people we can make fun of because they've been the comics for so long. Which, by the way, is another stereotype. It's bullshit. There's unbelievable black comics.
What are you gonna do? Make fun of comics? You're gonna make jokes about people that are corny forever? Like, that's not even funny, bro. Point that out. That's what I'm saying.
You
can't be funny pointing out the obvious. You know.
Right. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy where we've wound up at this point. And I see, like, I always thought it was like a joke, like fake, but now I'm starting to see like my algo has been crazy on Instagram. I've been getting a lot more of the.
I've been getting a lot of aliens and porn. I don't know why.
No, I haven't.
My Twitter algo is nuts.
Maybe because I search alien porn. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. No, but I get a lot more of these like these hecklers, and it's just crazy to see like a white comic. You can't make one fucking off-color joke about a minority or a gay person without some woke ass fucking cunt, white liberal bitch in the crowd being literally, you may as well put a white wig on the bitch because she's the judge, and she's gonna tell you that you can't say that joke. Let me tell you something.
Well,
bro.
I'll tell you what happened, bro. We were at the Grifties, right? Shout out to Hotep Nation, and we were at the Grifties, and my girl Leonarda Joni, another Albanian dime piece, made a joke, right? And my friend Chris got up with his girl and went to the bathroom, right? During the set, somebody was videotaping this whole thing. So he just got up while she made a joke about, oh, black people only fuck fat white women, like something like that. But he got up at that specific point, right? And it wasn't because he was offended at the joke. That clip went viral because they were like, oh, white woman offends black people. But meanwhile, that guy only went to the bathroom, bro. It wasn't even that like crazy. That thing had millions of views. It was unbelievable.
But think about that in itself. That's newsworthy because someone clicked on
Exactly.
that title.
Yeah. Yep.
Like they're looking for it, bro.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Absolutely. No, comedy should be, listen, if you're trying to be funny, be as funny as you can. And you know me, you guys know me. And if you guys are following and listen to me, you know I go for it. I go for any joke. Like, I don't give a fuck. Whatever it is, it's on the table. And I try to dumb it down here. And if you guys heard me in a private conversation, you wouldn't even follow this show at all. You know, Legend and Chado will tell you. You know, I go for the joke at all times. You got to go for the joke, because if you can't go for the joke, why you're not trying to be funny at this point? Because when you're trying to be funny, you got to go for the joke. You got to go for it.
Right.
That's why I feel like people like Chappelle, like how you just didn't back down on the trans jokes over the years.
Because you
like,
can't.
Right.
Because
like,
you can't.
Need more people doing that.
Yep. And she's grifting off even though she knows it was still there. That's right, protocol. You're right, but you know,
I don't know, man. It's like I said, I'm ready for segregation. I'm ready to live in a world where I'm hanging out with just conservatives and people that are like-minded like me, bro. I honestly, I'm not even joking with you. If you told me that I had to leave my job or I couldn't work with libs anymore, right? It would not faze me one bit. I'd be like, okay, no problem. I'll wind up getting a new job, or I'll just work with my conservative people.
And you know what's so funny? It's like how you mentioned that word segregation, right? And right away people think white and black. But no, we're talking about a real segregation between conservative and liberal mind think, right?
Beliefs,
So
segregation based on beliefs,
mental illness, and
ideology, your moral compass.
Yeah. And I'm all for it. I want to segregate from all those motherfuckers, bro, because I don't even want to be a part of it anymore at this point. I just had enough of people. When it comes to a conversation, even when people are quote unquote, because I know people that are in the intelligence sphere of whatever the fuck they think they are, you can't even have a conversation with them.
No,
it's not even a point that we can't even, Legend's been a proponent for this for years. I know this. We just got to separate. Fuck them. It doesn't even matter. We can't coexist anymore. And you know what? I'm starting to lean into that.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I'm good with it. Not only that, but I know that I can actually like bring my kids around their kids, because at that point, like I know, it's so funny, right? Like when I meet other like conservative families, parents, like I never think in my head like, oh, I don't want my kid hanging out with their kid. He might be the next school shooter, because that shit just doesn't happen, and that's less than 0.0001%. But let me tell you something. If you told me I had to go sit down with two trannies that are playing roles and they adopted two little kids and they're raising them to be non-binary or anything, I don't want my kid hanging out with that kid. I'm sorry, bro. I don't. There's no mental stability there.
Just think about the conversations you have. Like, look, we almost never talk about politics, like when we're just hanging out. Like,
no,
but shit like that almost always comes up when I'm hanging out with my lib friends. It's almost like guarantee,
bro.
It's going to come up.
It's their identity, dude.
Yeah,
that is.
Well, think about
identity.
this. We have a podcast that we talk about current events and politics and everything, and we still rarely touch on that as well. So it's like, even though we're in the public eye, we still can't do that because it's not our identity. Identity is family, friends, and having a good time. And we actively try to make each other laugh when we're having conversations, right? This is what the difference is on the other side, where it's not trying to have a good conversation. It's trying to insult the other side. It's trying to make you think that I'm better than you, degrade you, and everything else. It's 100% that.
They want you to know you're wrong.
Exactly. Or admit to the fact that maybe you can think my way, right? Like that's what I hear a lot. Well, can't you just admit that you're thinking the way I think?
Just don't bother me though. That's what I want. Don't bother me. I don't want to be bothered with your bullshit. That's why the protests annoy the fuck out of me. Like if I was going to work if I worked in the city,
bro,
and I had to deal with that shit, bro, like that would drive me nuts.
You guys are gonna see me on TV if somebody blocks a fucking train station or something. I'm going ham.
Don't put it out there. Now it's predetermined.
Now it's gonna happen, right?
I'm
gonna be a martyr.
No, now they.
All you're gonna see is a video of me going, "As God is my witness, as God is my witness, I shall defeat this."
Oh man,
we talked about last episode. I think I would be one of those people that tries physically moving protesters that block the street. Like if
I'm just
I was
gonna
on
do
my
a
way
fucking
to work,
jump drop kick, like in WWF. You know when they do the drop kick off the ropes?
Yeah.
That's the best thing to do. Just run up to them and double drop kick them to the face.
You just see my car just going through a fucking the chain of protesters as they're blocking the Golden State Bridge. Like I can't deal with that.
Yo, how many hits will we have if I just Legend you rolled up with me, Chato, and we just rolled up and watched me super kick Shawn Michaels people in the face as they're protesting? We can.
Oh, you gotta get. We'll do the special effects. So I'll make that clap. Sweet chin music.
Kick them 300 feet off the bridge.
Oh, that'd be great.
Hey, listen, guys, what happened to P. Diddy, Bill? By the way, it just disappeared, huh?
No, I'm telling you, I think that's probably a good sign. It's too quiet. So? Yeah, bro, it's
quiet,
too quiet.
Huh?
It's too quiet.
Way too quiet.
This is what happens. Listen, from experience, I know when it's this quiet, usually an indictment.
I know as well.
Yeah.
Shows up to the door. Hey, dunk, dunk, dunk. I'm part of.
So what's he doing? He's going over all the videotapes, pointing out. He's like, if I'm going down, I got so and so as well. That's going down with me.
He's been told at this point he's a target.
Yeah.
And now this is let's make a deal.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Let's make a deal and figure out what type of deal can be made.
I'll just tell you this. The Alphabet Boys showed up to my house and all of a sudden I didn't speak Albanian or English. I started talking Spanish and I don't know how to speak Spanish. Okay, ¿qué pasó? Sí, ven aquí.
Sorry, no English.
No habla inglés.
No English.
No, listen,
Lo siento. No habla inglés.
I look at everything that's going on and like just the shit that we saw with J6 and everything. I don't want to make any comments until this administration.
Yeah, bro. That's why
I'm being dead serious. I don't even want you guys to do it.
Just think about it.
It's not worth it.
How many times I talk to you on the phone where I'm like, I feel like I shouldn't say what I'm about to say because I don't.
But think about that, and
you never know.
Even this guy James O'Keefe, who I think is a plan as well, but even he just interviewed this guy today, a release right from the CIA. We're watching everybody. We got everybody's information. We do this and that. It's like if you don't, as an American citizen, think that you're being watched constantly, you're already losing yardage right now, right? You're in the back end. You're in third and long right now. Like you got to understand that people are watching you constantly. You know that's why it's very important to put up a front and then have a real front face to face, right? Because you got to understand that. There's two people you have to be. You have to be the person in your text messages and then be the person face to face. And you have to understand that.
Enemy of the State came out 4 years before the Patriot Act got passed. Okay, do yourself a favor. I've given you 3 amazing documentaries to watch over the next week. Go watch Enemy of the State, and if you think they had that technology back in 1998 when you actually see this movie, just remember they already had it 40 years before that. Yep. So just imagine where we're at right now. We're close to running 100%. Probably on 80 to 90 years on the most ridiculous technology that if someone wants to look through your window, hey, I'm going to hit you with a conspiracy theory. Ready? When 70s and 80s, right? Everyone painted their house. What was the biggest thing they used to bring up about the paint in the 70s and 80s? Lead, right? Oh, the babies are eating paint chips. Now, you guys are parents. Well, not yet for Reef, right? Child, your parent. We got parents in here. Has anyone ever heard of a story of kids eating paint chips?
Just Chris Farley and Tommy Boy.
Yeah, it's a movie, entertainment, right? No,
Yeah.
there's no one. And I can ask my aunts and uncles. You ever heard that? No. But what did it do? It got lead paint to become the most unpopular type of paint. So now every single house that's painted doesn't have lead, right? Well, guess what? What does lead keep out of your house? Think about it.
5G.
No, right?
Everything, bro. Radiation,
Smoke
X-ray,
kills
cameras. You can't see through it. It's fucking lead.
It's
Fucks with
crazy.
your head, right? Think about it.
Every single house pretty much has a Ring camera on their front door. Like
Yeah,
you're
giving
literally
information away, yeah.
you're on camera pretty much 24/7 when you leave your house. Like I don't even know how you could get rid of
Bro, think about this.
How do you get away with the crime now?
Let me ask you guys this. What do you do? What do you do when you got a dead spot in your house and that's going to be your room that you have a computer? Do you just say, hey, I'm beat. I'm not going to be able to use my computer in this room?
Yep.
No, bro. You go and you buy boosters and you get better Wi-Fi.
Hey,
you buy
shut
all
this
this shit.
up, yeah.
You plug yourself into more and
Mhm.
more surveillance.
True.
This is the world that we live
The
in.
reaction to surveillance is
You don't even
more
realize it. You don't
surveillance.
even realize it. And this is what I was just talking about. You're already programmed to do these things.
exactly.
Oh, I can't have lead. Bro, there's people right now that are so crazy on EMF and radiation that they're spending thousands and thousands of dollars to paint their home with lead paint.
Yep.
Think about it. And now there's a market for it.
What is being near lead paint dangerous or is it
No.
just eating it? Is it just
No,
eating
bro.
it?
It's just supposedly kids were eating paint chips. That's how bro, what do? When they want us to do something, they scare us and they tell us it's going to hurt the kids. If you say it's going to hurt the kids, every single parent, every single aunt, uncle, sister, brother.
You're not watching your kids eat paint chips and stopping them? I don't understand.
Chato,
Just let it-
Yeah, if it
It-
shuts them up,
it-
it's all right.
yeah, it was just a ploy. It was just a ploy to get people to stop painting their house with lead paint. That's all.
It is, but I mean, I know some working in the industry where a lot of lead paint has gone on. It's not good to inhale at all. You get little hooks in your chest from inhaling a lot of lead paint. It is true though, but
No, bro, you're thinking of whatchamacallit. That other
Thinking
bullshit.
of
no,
yeah, you're thinking of
asbestos?
stuff.
No,
Yeah, you're thinking of
it's the
asbestos.
same thing. No, lead acts pretty much the same on your diaphragm.
I never heard of anyone.
Oh, you just look it up.
inhaling lead.
I'll send you those stories because lead paint.
Wait,
was
so
the-
you're gonna send me an article that was paid for, bought and paid
No,
for?
no,
The-
there's plenty.
This
There's
is
plenty.
the
Listen.
left leaning.
If you ever
leader.
worked around,
Yeah, this is-
listen, I've worked around lead paint, oil-based paint. When you work around lead paint and you paint with lead paint, you
Who, you
can't
a
stay in the
painter?
same room. No, but you paint the machine room, right? You paint the machine room is what we do. We'll paint our machine
course.
rooms, and lead paint will make you, bro. You sit around 1 hour in lead paint, you can't stay in the room, bro. It's a fact. There's no
I
way
don't know.
around it.
I've never heard of anyone getting.
Well, you
lead
ever painted
poisoning.
with lead paint? Well, I have. So I'm telling you, you can't paint with lead paint if you stay in the same room for an hour. It's just not possible.
Well,
You can't do it. You know what I mean?
Ah.
You just can't do it.
Well, first off, that doesn't even make sense because lead poisoning is from lead buildup. It doesn't happen on the spot, 20 minutes, an hour.
Well, you'll
into
feel
you
it when
sitting in
you-
a room.
Well, you'll see when you paint with lead paint, you'll feel it right away. The heaviness in your breathing from the lead paint.
all
And
right,
then
we'll
they
put it
switched
to the
over
test.
from the oil paint. They went from the lead paint, so they went from the lead paint was like the 70s, 80s, and then their late 80s and the 90s they went to lead paint. So I mean, they went to oil-based paint, right? So oil-based paint was even worse than the lead paint, right? Because they needed to switch the dynamics of it because they couldn't get the lead molecules or whatever it is, all the ingredients for it anymore. So they switched to oil-based, and it made you think that lead paint was the worst thing in the world. Then they went to oil-based, and then what happened with oil-based? Oh, that's the worst thing for you. So now they went to water-based. And what's the water-based doing? Water-based is even worse than the lead base now. So it's just a continuing on of worse and worse and worse. But all these paints are bad for you. Even regular water-based that you're painting in now in your house, you're fucking Ben, whatever the fuck that is right now. That thing that you're breathing in is probably just as bad as any other paint, right? It's just dumbed down. Everything's dumbed down right now. And they're thinking that you say, oh, your fucking paint that you're putting in, your white walls, your eggshell, whatever it is, this is the best one now, but that's probably just as bad for you for the lead or the oil or anything else they used before.
I'm going to buy lead paint, and I'm painting my
Go
house.
ahead. Good luck finding it. It's not easy to find.
Sherwin-Williams probably.
Sure, I'm calling Sherwin-Williams tomorrow.
You won't find it. Not only that, but it's also very it's not good for fire protection as well.
This fucking guy, man.
I know. What do I know, right? That's all I've been doing for my whole life.
You just like ruined Chris's dreams. He's over there trying to protect his family from fucking 5G, and you're
No, listen. I know for a fact I can still get lead paint. But
yeah, it's hard.
I'm not going to argue it.
It's not easy to get it.
Get it right at Home Depot. Copper Force.
Yeah. Great.
This guy's a fucking fed, bro. Trying to talk me out of.
Yeah, I know.
I just, bro,
You want to blow up your house? Go to lead paint. Go ahead. I got it. We got them in the back from 1970s in my building. I'm shipping them over to you.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got here? Let's finish up with a little sports here, guys. We're 2 hours in. We had a great time tonight. Thank you, guys, everybody, for listening to us, going on our rants, doing whatever we did. If you're listening on the audio, on YouTube, on Rumble, on Twitter, on wherever the fuck you're listening to, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, because you never know when we're going to go live. And make sure you show some love. And thank you guys so much for joining us. You can be anywhere else. And thank you for joining us here tonight. Guys, before we finish tonight, we got to talk about a very important thing. I don't know what Chato, in Connecticut, motherfucker. We don't know what they talk about. But the New York Knicks here in the playoffs, bro. What's going on, legend? What are we doing here?
The fix is in, bro. That literally was one of the worst games. I mean, 6 points. I mean, how many times have you seen playoff games like this ending, though? With these, 6 points.
Happens
one
twice
way.
in one series.
Twice in one series now? It just doesn't happen. It's not adding up.
8 points in 30 seconds with the Knicks way, and then
it adds up when you guys they're the Knicks at the end of the day,
here we go.
I'm just saying, they're
talking like a Connecticut guy. Go ahead.
What do you mean Connecticut?
All right, Celtics.
Plenty of people in Connecticut. Bro,
all right,
I don't like the Celtics.
Tatum's, all right. Well, who do you like?
Listen,
who do you like? Tell us who you like.
My Heat are getting their ass beat
who do they
right
get next series?
They get the winner of the Cavs Orlando game.
Where's that series at right now? 3-2?
Or 3-2 Orlando, I think.
Oh, I mean that's like a second round bye.
Dude, that series is atrocious. You can't even watch that game.
No, it's not watchable. I mean, I think Boston has a good. I mean, it should be Boston Knicks Eastern Conference Finals.
Boston should be in the finals.
Boston Knicks are the final. That's the team. If the NBA was smart, they would push that. But I mean, the Knicks games are just embarrassing. Some of the calls on these, you watch it. Okay, listen, I'm a conspiracy theorist. Sure, I want to watch it, and I always want to look for someone to react to. But it's blatant, some of the shit. Like last night, Maxey hit a 4-point play, and he took 5 steps before he shot the 3-pointer.
Yeah, I mean
it was clear as day. The guy took 5 steps. I mean, he took 2, drop step, took another 2, and then shot a 3-pointer. It was, great that he made. That was an impossible shot to make already, but he took 5 steps to make.
Is that not
shot.
reviewable?
I don't know. Why don't they review it? I don't know.
I don't understand.
I
never understood
anymore. I don't know the rules of reviewing anymore. I don't know. You can't review this. You need this. You need this timeout and that timeout. I don't get it anymore. NBA is fucking rigged.
I can't deal with this Euro step thing.
Dude, it's nuts. It's, you know what? I don't mind the old Manu Ginobili 2-step Euro step, but it's become a 5-step Euro step, bro.
Yeah, I mean, nothing makes sense.
It's not really even a Euro
drop step, 2-step, and a spin.
These guys are so athletic now that they're able to make it look like they can take one dribble past half court and they're at the basket. But
the carry,
yeah, they don't call carry at all.
You see that carry, everybody's carrying the ball. I'll tell you what though, when I'm playing at at just the normal court around the block and somebody calls a carry on me,
bro, that's the worst thing. You can't call carry playing.
You can't call carry. We're playing on the street here, bro. Guy called the carry on me last week. I'm like,
bro, that's an automatic.
You're gonna fight you now. Now we have to fight. I have to fight you now. You're 17 years old, and now I got to punch you in the face.
I don't think because when you call it too, you're calling it multiple times because that's probably how that dude dribbles the ball. So every time he touches the basketball, you're looking for it, and you're gonna call it you're just a scumbag.
You know what's so disingenuous about the NBA? It's just like when you watch the Nuggets-Lakers series, right? the whole thing ESPN is like, hey, let's look at the Lakers lore, the mythology of LeBron. Meanwhile, you got fucking goddamn Jokic putting up a triple-double every game, right? And they're like, well, he's padding stats. Like, when has padding stats ever been a thing? Like, when has that ever been a talking point, right?
What
You
that
got a
guy-
guy.
We talked about it. Like Russ Westbrook padded stats on a dog shit team for a whole season, and he won the MVP.
Yeah. You got a guy
Right?
that
What do you
actually
have,
makes a
60 triple
difference.
doubles or something? Right?
Right. You got a guy that makes a difference, that the reason why they're winning this many games is because of Jokic. The reason why he's doing, hey, the assist that you got to make, like that guy's got to score after that. Right. So there's so many things that Jokic's just not getting the credit. And it's just so blatant that the NBA does not want to promote this guy.
Well, he doesn't care either. So that
Well,
makes
why
it,
would you?
that makes it
Why would
easier
you?
to
If you were him, why
not
would
give him
you?
air. Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It makes
Yeah.
it easier to not give him any fucking airtime.
You know, they try to sell him like this guy's an idiot, right? Jokic's just a moron, doesn't get foreigner, stupid Serb that doesn't understand what's going on. But I think he's a lot smarter than people give credit for, and he just doesn't give a fuck. He's like, you guys ain't on my bandwagon? Well, fuck you guys. And he's gonna
He
win
said it
another
too, though.
MVP.
He basically said, first off, the guy comes from Serbia. It's a country that's war torn. Like, this is not a big deal in the grand scheme of things to his life. Like, he's like, I play basketball. It's a means to an end for me. I make money. I mean,
Yeah.
you see him. You see his house in Serbia. It's like a horse farm.
One
Like, the
place.
guy's like, he's just a normal guy, bro. The house that he bought in whatchamacallit, in Denver was like a $2.5 million house.
Yeah.
This
And
is
they're trying
one
to
of the
make-
highest paid players in the
And you
league.
see the psyop in that is like, no, we want you to sell big chains. We want you to
Right.
sell Bentleys. We want
Right.
you to make believe that there's a vision on here. When we're being a bad family guy with a guy, you'll never catch Jokic in a scandal with another fucking whore. You'll never ever see that. Ever. He loves his wife, he loves his family, you don't give a shit. But they want you
that's
to
it.
have that. Look who they promote. Who's this kid? Who was the kid that was caught with the guns? What was his name?
Oh yeah,
They
John
promote that.
Morant.
John Morant's all over the place, right?
Right.
Chains, guns, gangs, this,
Guns,
that.
knives, wives, guns,
Yeah.
sluts. I'm gonna kill you.
Bitch, I'm gonna kill you. Oh,
right,
I want to bring
all
up you. Hold on. I want to bring that you mentioned.
Wait,
that.
I had a basketball question for you.
Okay, before that, I want to make the next point. But some shady.
What did you guys think about the contract? Which, by the way, we need to give a little bit more love to. I know how much we hate women's basketball.
No,
but
shit.
But that's what I'm saying. What did you guys think about Caitlin Clark's contract with
Which one?
Nike?
The team track or the Nike track? The Nike
No, well, the
contract.
team track we already know. What are you gonna do?
What is
they're
she
so
doing?
Trying to make money.
I
Yeah.
didn't even see that.
Nike gave her millions of dollars or something like that, right?
8 years, 28 million.
Yeah, she deserves it.
Her or total?
That's total 8 years for 28 million. I got to take, and then I got someone to back me up on it.
You know, I honestly think that she
Enough?
deserves it. She's a once
No,
in a,
that's not enough.
Not enough for her.
Okay.
She's gonna.
I love you.
She's
guys.
probably
I love
gonna.
That's why I said her
revolutionize
maybe.
WNBA,
Like,
yeah. You'll see
Okay,
a lot
so-
more people watch WNBA because of her this year, and she'll definitely bring up the ratings. She's a once in a lifetime generational talent that you should double down on.
Okay. What about, because what you said was, you're talking about people watching the WNBA. I don't think that's where the money is. How many girls are going to buy sneakers, right? Because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about selling sneakers. How many little girls are going to buy sneakers because of Caitlin Clark? That's my question.
You'll
Wouldn't
have
you
enough.
say a shit ton?
yeah,
Yeah,
anything,
absolutely, yeah.
any Nike apparel.
Any Nike apparel. So I agree with you guys. I think it's grossly disgusting, the contract they gave her, because in the grand scheme of things, you're talking less than $4 million a year. They're going to have her on every fucking commercial. I mean, she's a slave to Nike now. She's going to,
Yeah,
that's
you
all
already
her
see it.
time. That's all her effort.
You're seeing contact with her now with her new team. Like they're
Exactly.
constantly showing her right now.
So
yeah.
here's the best part. You guys know who Sonny Vaccaro is, right?
Yes.
The guy that got for you, those of you that don't, that's the guy that got Michael Jordan his lucrative Air Jordan. It was equity, basically. Well, he came out and said that Caitlin Clark should have received a contract similar to what Michael got, because what she's going to do for Nike and the shoe line and little girls and the teenage girls, all these people out there, is going to make Nike so much money, and it's going to basically put women's basketball, professional basketball, on the map. Even people that don't watch basketball are going to see her in commercials and see what she does, and they're going to click and they're going to look at her highlights, and they're going to wind up buying sneakers.
Yeah.
And he said that basically her agents should have been fired. Her parents should be ashamed. They walked this girl right into this. They walked her right into this deal. Yeah, she got totally screwed, and she's locked up for the next 8 years.
28 million for 8 years is nuts.
By the way, Under Armour offered her 16 million for 4 years, which actually is a better contract.
Yeah, but
so she went.
Under Armour's corny as fuck, bro.
No, you can't.
Exactly.
Let's be honest, bro. And Under Armour was cool for like 2 years, bro.
Right. Agreed.
Right. And I definitely bought some Under Armour shit, and after 2 years, I was like, "Oh shit, gay people are wearing this." So
I think you could do it Under Armour for football still, maybe.
No,
but
can't do it, bro.
Nike.
You know what? I'll tell you what happened.
Nike basketball is
I went to this club called Spirit in New York. Right, it was a popping club in 2002. Right, you had Junior Vasquez there. That was the producer for Madonna's things, and then all the gay dudes wearing Under Armour. And I was like, you know what? Can't rock it anymore. That's it. That's all it took for me.
To be honest with you, they just don't make a cool sneaker, and that's really what we're trying to say.
They don't make
dry fits.
But they don't even make cool shirts, bro. Even their shirts are not cool. Like nothing they do. Even when the Rock came through,
line, bro. Yeah. They destroyed the Rock line. Well, you know why? Because remember they were getting the roots of fight.
Yeah, the roots of fight. They had a thing
awesome.
that was cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Those were sick. And I
still
still have shirts. And then they just ruined it. They ran into the ground.
Bro.
But yeah, no, listen, there are still some stuff that Under Armour makes, but in the grand scheme of things, when you put it up, when you put it up against Nike, it's just like, and I actually like Under Armour's certain shorts better than certain Nike shorts, but it just doesn't, it doesn't pass like the cool test anymore. It really doesn't.
I know everybody's gonna think I'm half a homosexual, but I love Lululemon's shorts and stuff like that for working out, bro. They last forever. I have Lululemon shorts that last 8 years already. You know,
I mean, listen, no homo, but I just bought a ALO yoga hat. I'll be rocking it on the show.
Okay.
Which is like it's going to be like the next Lululemon.
Okay, let's do it. I'll watch it.
You'll be listen,
like Tim fucking what's his name?
Gays are gonna gay, you know? Let me live.
Can I live?
And just circling back on that whole thing with Caitlin Clark, I think this is a perfect example of how Neil is actually going to fuck a lot of these college athletes because they get a little taste of that money and then they walk themselves into some of these deals because they got some money in the bank. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if she didn't already have a little money in the bank, she would have fought a little bit harder, I think, for that Nike contract. And be like, whoa, I got 5 offers on the table.
Shouldn't it work backwards though? Like if you got you got to know what you're worth.
Yeah. It's
like,
just
but you got to remember, Neil is setting the market for them.
Hey, Caitlin Clark,
she was
find yourself a good man and go have kids and enough with this shit trying to make money. All right, go back.
Dude, not for nothing. Honestly, though, shame on Nike. Every time they have a chance to like make their image like somewhat a little bit better than the pieces of shit that they are.
I mean, hey, let's hire a trainer.
Way to show that.
It really does look like that was the first offer.
Like, exactly.
She just said, "Yeah, where do I sign?"
And Nike was like, "Oh, okay, great."
Oh shit! We actually didn't bring the paperwork with us.
But don't forget. But don't forget, that's another way that Nike has her foot in the door with like these NIL deals.
Yeah, it's true. Yep.
Because she probably, in a sense, felt that she had some loyalty to Nike. Not realize, like, I wish I was her agent, bro. I would have got her at least 40 million on like 5 years.
I would have had that bitch
our starting point.
Already conservative way on an anti-vax campaign. I would have had that. She would have been making millions right now.
Oh, I would have had her in a commercial. She would have been signed by Reebok. She would have been doing commercials with me.
That's what I was saying. Anything, New Balance, something like you're throwing it in Nike's face at that point.
She would have been sparring with Manny Pacquiao, teaching it because Manny can ball.
I would have brought back fucking BK Diamond Cells for that bitch, bro. You would have seen her in a Diamond Cells commercial.
British Knights, my man. Unreal.
Damn. Fuck, dude.
Before we close up this week, draft. What do you guys think? I know fantasy football thing. How do you guys
The
think?
Bears.
What do you think?
Terrible, bro.
Are we all
Falcons?
Are we all in agreement? The Falcons are the worst franchise in football history. I mean, what are you doing?
Here's my only take, and I just feel so bad for Arthur Blank, bro. Like, just one guy that deserves to win is him, and he's just been he must have been a real scumbag.
I love how it cut to him in the front office room, and the GM's just trying to explain it to him. Like,
I'll tell you what happened with the Falcons, right? We've all been there. Everybody listening's been there. That's done fantasy football drafts, and it's like coming down to 20 seconds, right? And you're like,
overthinking.
Oh fuck, what do I do? Oh, Penix. Let's just get Penix. Fuck it. And then you're like, what the fuck did I do just now?
You do it. Listen, we've all done it in fantasy. We've done it every year. Where I'll give you a perfect example.
You don't take your second quarterback in the second round.
Listen,
if you drafted Mahomes,
you don't take Mark Andrews in the fourth, and then because he's there, take Darren Waller in the fifth.
Yeah, you just don't do
right,
that.
Vinny. It is what.
Vinny had a good year though.
I will say, looking at it now, and because I actually believe, and I told you guys, I believe that Penix was the best quarterback in the draft. Yeah. I do believe he was the best quarterback in the draft. And if he winds up balling out, it's whatever. But here's my thought.
Caleb is a queer.
Kirk Cousins is coming off a really bad injury. Okay.
Yeah.
It's an ACL.
And he's always injured.
And he's already 35 years old. Okay. So in my thought, the dumbest part of what the Falcons did was giving him $180 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Money.
Yeah.
So I think they're trying. And by the way, that's
not guaranteed, right? The 160.
Yeah, it is.
I
think it's like 140 of 180 is guaranteed.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's crazy.
I believe that was Arthur Blank's. He wanted Cousins. So this may have been the GM saying, I'm not all in. I'm just not all in on Cousins. Yeah. He might not be what he is. So here's how I look at it. In 2 years, right? If the money's guaranteed for pretty much 3 out of the 4 years, 2 years, you got 2 years of Penix behind Cousins learning. And then by that third year, you could either move on from Cousins or you can trade him because then it's not a bad contract. It's only a 1 year. So I actually don't hate it.
I think in the beginning of the college year, we talked about Penix and Caleb. We had the group conversation.
Well, we picked the game. We picked the game again that he would beat Caleb Williams, and he did.
You just can't do it though, just because you're not that high in the draft that often, and there was some stud wide receivers
to that point.
Stud linemen too.
Yeah, even linemen. Yeah.
The Atlanta Falcons needed a lineman, and the Jets ended up scooping them up. Like,
all right,
you
to that point, though,
lineman. You needed them.
You could have probably 98% gotten Michael in the second round. That's where the fuck.
Maybe not just because of the way everyone was. The quarterbacks made a run,
flying.
Right?
Sure, but the Giants would have probably scooped them up after that too. But
I don't know though.
I don't know.
That's the thing. We don't know.
Like the Falcons needed a lineman. Like they needed an offensive lineman.
The spin zone that the GM said was kind of funny. Like it was like, listen, we expect to be good the next couple years. We're not going to have a high draft pick like that the next couple years. So might as well get our future quarterback right now.
So think about that.
Wait, who's the guy in Atlanta now? Like he's second year, right?
No. Talking about Cousins. They got Cousins.
Who was their backup? Who was their quarterback this year? They got hurt.
It was
he was terrible, bro. They had Heineke and that other jerk off.
The rookie,
the young kid.
Terrible.
He was a rookie.
No, second year. Riddle.
Riddle was his rookie year.
Ritter. Desmond Ritter.
That was his rookie year this year. That was rookie year.
No, it was his second year, I think.
Was it? I think.
I'm almost positive. He's terrible, dude. He's absolutely terrible. He got drafted in 2022.
Even still, they used.
Yeah, bro. It was his second.
In the past few years, they've used top 10 picks essentially on a running back, which is just no one in the league is doing that anymore.
2022, we got drafted.
A tight end.
He's legit though, bro.
And a backup quarterback. Like It's
Pitts
fucking
is.
crazy.
I think Pitts is legit, bro. Honestly.
Listen,
I don't know.
think
I don't
Pitts
think
is
they've been
really
good. They haven't been good. So,
But
like,
I will say, I didn't expect him to drop as many passes as he drops. And as
Yeah.
a tight end, you can't drop passes.
No.
But at the same time, he's had some really shitty. Like I personally don't think I can catch a ball thrown from Marcus Mariota because he doesn't throw it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't.
Lob
I still,
it to
listen,
you. He's
I
like
still like the
underhanding it to you.
Falcons. Yeah, I still like the Falcons. I love the squad. I think
Like
an
you're throwing a
offensive
little
lineman would have been
Antonio
the
on their
smart pick.
arms.
Yeah. Yeah, but
it's just.
I'm so excited for fantasy this year. I think we I wish we could concentrate and do it. We may have to have someone else running the show, but we may have to podcast it this year. Put everyone in and just do an actual live draft and put it under the Haram Life banner.
Well, we did our draft. We just didn't broadcast it, but we did do our draft with everybody in the StreamYard this year. Remember?
Yeah, that was good.
We just didn't record it, but we did have everybody in. That was fun.
That was actually fun. But this year, I really do want to get everyone because I think that
it'd be good if we could have a build up
to
it, right? It'd be good if we can have all the owners talk about it and say it. It'd be fun. We can have our own little.
I wouldn't mind doing like maybe in August when we do our live we'll do the live draft order and maybe do the room.
You know what it is? The issue is that everyone has so many leagues that it's hard to.
I'm done. I'm only 2 in now.
How many leagues are 1050?
I only have,
you know what I mean?
3 leagues right now. One's
the majority of the people in your league probably are in.
I'm in one $2,000 league and one in our league, right? What's that? 15 now. And that's
Chado, you think you're getting Andrew back this year, or you think he's done?
No, he hasn't.
The reins by yourself.
He enjoyed it last year. Like,
hey,
actually, like.
Why don't you come on the podcast?
I know he's listening, definitely.
He listens to the podcast?
No.
Damn right he does.
Bro. No shot.
That's fucked up. What, has he got better things going on?
Nah, he's half retarded.
Yeah, he's probably sleeping right now. I remember I asked him to come on the show one time. He's like, I don't do podcasts.
Yeah, this fucking guy all of a sudden. We got fucking George Clooney over here. No podcast.
Like, bro, you just don't want to. It's just us. We're just hanging out. The boys just chilling.
I think you're going to be able to break this show up into 3 episodes.
No,
we're our longest ever, dude.
Well, we started about an hour in just talking about nonsense, but this is one of the best one. We had a great time tonight, guys. 222 win, and we don't know what the hell we come in. We had a great time.
We talked about shit. We talked about cocaine,
a
lot of shit. Becky already got denied. They don't want her shit.
Yeah,
hey, they're like, nah, no gay shit this year.
You should have said that you were straight, Becky. I don't know what to tell you. All right.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? I gotta teach you how to be better. Come on.
Yeah.
Peter.
They're only looking for they're looking for bisexual shit.
Yeah, they're not looking for full on gay. Like, you got to at least pretend you want a man. You know?
Yeah.
The fuck, guys. If you guys listen, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight on our rants and our lovely Wednesday nights. We're trying to bring back Wednesday nights all the time, but with some time. Chado, what do you got for the people? Final words.
Nothing, bro. Let's get Trump out of court. I'm sick of seeing that. He looks so fucking sad. Can't even go to his kid's fucking graduation.
He don't want to go to that, bro.
He don't want to go to his fucking.
I didn't even want to go to my graduation, high school or college.
Yeah. My parents didn't go to my graduation. My father looked at me and said, "Monkeys graduate. You want me to go to your high school graduate? Okay, I go if you want me to." I was like, "All right, Dad, fuck it."
Trump doesn't want to go to it, but he wanted to get out of having to be in court that day, at the very least.
The cap was shot.
Oh shit! Seriously, that's why I want to say congrats to Chado for passing the academy.
Yeah, for arresting state trooper. Yeah, for stopping the DA and telling her that, hey,
Officer Chado.
Officer Chado.
I would have fucking slammed that bitch on the floor for resisting arrest.
Pause. Hey, Legend, you got any final words?
Go on the website.
Yep.
Book a slot. Come on the show. Talk with us. Hang out. I've been waiting to see Jan. I've been waiting for Janet to come back in for I don't even know months now.
Janet's got an open invite. fucking Becky's got an open invite.
Reef's going to be
Mike
doing
also-
interviews.
Yeah, I'll be doing my Haram talk is coming out soon. I'll be booking interviews. I got
Caleb
fresh-
Williams, episode 1.
Yeah, Caleb Williams. Me and him are doing one in a sauna together. It's gonna be weird.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna
How's
be
the pressure?
awesome. How's the pressure?
No, but yeah, jump in, buy a shirt,
Jump in, anybody.
enjoy it.
Even
model
Mike
it.
last night, Fresh Mike last night was like, "Hey, you guys come in." I'm like, "Bro, it's open season. You can come in. Anybody can book themselves on the show. Come on in.
Might get
You
bumped.
gotta prove. You might get bumped for maybe a meet, but we don't know. You know what I mean?"
Oh man, I love it.
Hey,
God
shout out to Becky, shout out to Mike, shout out to Protocol, shout out to Jamie, shout out to all the Harambians that joined us tonight. Thank
cheese
you
of
so
the
much.
board,
Yeah.
woman of the cheese,
Cheese woman of the board, the people checking in to check us out. And we thank you so much. And we wouldn't be here without you guys. And just know we're here just to hang out with you guys. So listen, this is it. This is the end. We cooling down. We got the beat. Yeah. Haram Life. Welcome to May. Wake up. It's the first of the month. So check Harambe and come on. Listen, guys, follow us everywhere. Check out our sponsor, Kratom.com. You guys know who they are. Check them out. Don't get your gas station shit. Sign up. Let them know we sent you guys.
Free Rob Menuda.
Yeah, free Rob Menuda.
Get the political
course,
prisoners out of prison already.
Check out
man.
all our family and friends here at the Haram Life Podcast. I'm Reef Leader, and God bless you, motherfuckers. Peace.
Suck a dick. Suck a dick.